Well,
Good evening, good afternoon, and God, all of you people are just ugly, man. Damn, welcome to the chat.
Thanks.
Yeah, this
Jeez,
is the home. This is the home for
Me
the
and Sean
ugly
just
guys.
spent 20 minutes making these faces look good for you.
Yeah. Okay,
Damn
now I'm really
straight,
scared.
man.
My eyes are burning.
Yeah, we did.
Stop. Come on. You're making my eyes burn. Stop
I
it.
spent an hour getting
Okay, I can see
beautified
it again.
for
Oh
coming
my
on
God.
tonight.
People. See what I got to put up with people? If y'all missed the show before this, was all off the school. We were talking ufology stuff tonight. We had Megan McNeil on, Megan O'Neill on tonight. You should go check her out. She's an interesting character. Fun to listen to. Yes, and so I said ego on the show, and I got to thinking about it. Is there someone on this network that doesn't have an ego? So
A what?
Ego.
A what?
Let go of my ego.
Oh, okay.
Egos. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I thought for all the hosts that I know, none seems to me they don't have one.
First rule of thumb: you can't host a podcast if you don't have an ego. Because just to host a podcast means you got an ego because you think you're good enough to host a podcast. Okay, right off the bat, that tells you got an ego. So my point is I know everybody in the network's got an ego. I just know this lazy ego, like Michelle's. Jesus, that woman is out of control. That thing. That ego is like. She's walking like this. I see her on camera. I'm like, Michelle, you okay? She's like, oh, I'm good, man. I said, you get that head through the door. She's like, I'm good, man. Shut up.
How can you have an ego when they're so down to earth? I mean, see, that's where I kind of mixed up because
do you give information to people?
Yeah.
Okay, that means you think you know more than they do, and you think your information is better than theirs. Because you got the nerve and the balls to get up there and say, hey, listen to me. I know what the bleep is going on. So that's the thing. Anytime you're doing something like anything that's public, especially if you're a musician or an artist, you have to have an ego. It's part of the performance. You can't do it without it. And it is for us, too.
I see where you're getting at.
Yeah, so for us, it's the same thing. We still have to have, people will ask me something. They'll see me before a show sometimes. Like, you look tired, you look cranky, and then they'll see me when the show starts, and they're like, well, what the fuck happened there?
Let me tell you something. When they were working on their floors, okay, we had to stay at a hotel for about 10 days, okay? And out of them 10 days, I did my show from the hotel room, right, which had my mom and my brother. And after the show, my mom looked at me and she says, you are two different people. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, I know how you are, but when you go on your show, you're totally different. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, about being tired, but when I went on my show, I wasn't tired. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of the things. It's
kind of an adrenaline rush, definitely.
Yeah, we know when we get on, we're going to be talking to a lot of people. We got a lot of people listening to the network. We know that a lot of them care because they stay around. We have really good listening time. Average, I think, right now is currently about an hour and 40 minutes, which is weird because we have a lot of hour and a half shows, which means shows like this one and the news on the flip side are pulling the averages up. Yeah, y'all heard me. Other shows out there, which are an hour and a half, but the average down. It's average listen time, Jamie, is however long a person sits and listens to the show. Like this show tonight, usually on this show it's about an hour 26 minutes per show. It's a 3-hour show, so most people listen to at least half the show. That's about 18% that listen to the whole show. Yeah, that's the people who really just want to know what we're talking about. Because you just never know what's going to come out of Sean's mouth. I mean, he's in Pete's, man. He's insane.
You're right, man. But on my show on Sunday night, sure they come on for the first hour, and then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I got to hold these people or bring more in, for the second hour.
Yeah.
It must be working. I must be doing something right.
Well, so in general, unless you had a shitty show, in general, your second hour numbers will be bigger than your first hour.
I thought it was the other way around.
No. This is why. So if your show is doing good and you're sitting there listening, let's say you get 700,000 people listening to your show. Well, they're sitting there. Now you're going into the next hour. You got another hour coming. So you're going to take a top of the hour break. These people are going to say, hey, I'm listening to this guy, Sean. So a third of your audience or more will probably either text someone or call someone and let them know that they're listening.
Okay.
And those people will usually join in. Plus, whoever's surfing across the nets or all the millions of venues you can find us. So there's lots of ways to find us. But I mean, once you build an audience, that audience usually takes it the next step. They stick around. They let their friends know, they're at work and all. Hey, I'm listening to this cool podcast. You gotta go check it out. They really talk some good stuff. Yeah, Jamie. I mean, it's no.
Plus, I'm good looking.
Yeah, and you're good looking. So, but no. So, what Sean's talking about. So, if you got a show, it's 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever. If you start the hour off, the first hour, you're just headed kind of in a downward. You're going to lose your audience. It's just going to go away. Now, some of them may come back and check in the second hour, but a lot of them won't. They'll have already got themselves involved with something else. Because it's not like the old days where you only had limited stuff to choose from. Now you can spend hours just looking for something. See, that's the trick.
Okay.
I don't know, Dean. It's yeah. Well, you gotta make time in your life, but the problem is, how do you make time in your life when everything else is consuming all your time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm moving to Mars. Elon and I are going to get an apartment together. And I'm in charge of his harem.
Yeah, right. Mars don't exist. Come on.
I'm going to Mars with Elon's harem, so that exists. I'll be floating around with a
What are you going to do with all that money on Mars, man, when there's nothing to buy up there, dude?
I don't want no money.
You can't use green money on Mars. It has to be red. Like in the movie.
I don't want the money. I want the harem. What part of this I don't understand? They keep the money. I'm not interested in it. That was with Sean in the beginning. Ain't nothing you can buy up there.
What would you do with that harem? Where you have babies?
Yeah. Like 5 of each one. Well, I had 100 of them suckers running around up there. Ooh, yeah. You got to repopulate, man.
All right, now let me ask you this question, for shits and giggles here. Say there's a colony of Mars, and you go up and you make a couple babies, all right? Would it be healthy for those babies to come back to Earth?
No, probably not.
Okay, all right. Let's Jay and I'll break this down like it should be. But the answer really is no. So what happens? Hey, Army, so what happens is the longer you're on Mars, you're going to lose bone density, you're going to lose muscle mass, you're going to lose all sorts of stuff. So let's say you're there 10 years.
Too as well.
Yeah, so let's say you're there 10 years. Now, they probably will set up 1G gyms and stuff where you can work out to try to keep your bone from losing. But if you're not really planning on ever going home, you're probably not going to stay on that hard. If you're not planning on having any kids, you're not going to probably stay on it so hard too. Because Mars, for us, especially people in our age group, is actually a good thing. So once they get the pressure up, where you can just walk around, there's nothing pulling on your joints. There's nothing weighing you down. So all those places where it's bone to bone rubbing because the pads wore out, there's going to be a gap there. It's going to be floating again. Same thing for your heart. You won't need a high blood pressure anymore because your heart's going to work about a third of what it does on Earth. It'll probably add 30.
You'll probably lose 60 pounds within a month or two.
Well, they already said that the human body will probably de-age on its own 20 or 30 years because of a lack of stress on all its vital organs. And then those organs will relax. And they said, instead of being like 80 years here, you might see 120, 130, even 140 on Mars. Yeah. Jeffrey, I'm on air. Text Jeffrey and tell him I'm on air, Jay.
Oh, Jeffrey Pritchett?
Yeah. Tell him I call him when I get up there. And it's Jeffrey Pritchett is host of Church of Babies. Jeffrey's a good guy. Well, anybody can be an asshole. Let's be honest about it. Oh, you've been listening to us that long? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, so it's a long story short because Jason's passed away now. So when these two assholes first met, because I'm friends with both of them, and we used to have, like on the network, like this network. Well, we haven't done it in a while, but we used to have a lot of panels. And these two fuckers kept getting into it. And then finally, one night, they just got into a knockdown, drag-out fight. I mean, there was no stopping the two bastards. They were just, if they could have got fisticuffs on each other, they'd have been kicking some ass.
I could see that.
So I mean, they hate each other. So one night, I called them both. I said, look, you motherfuckers, come on a damn show, and I want y'all to fix this. Because it was causing problems on the network. I said, just whatever. And they got on, and I started fucking with them hard like I do. I mean, I was pissing them both. Pretty serious. And then I guess they got together, tried to gang up, and they still kicked their ass. But anyway, after that, they became friends. They finally became friends. They worked it out, became friends. So, no, Gene, trust me. These two motherfuckers hated each other. I mean, there's the kind of hatred, like if you walked in between, you'd probably lose an arm because it would melt off and shit. Oh, yeah, man. It was bad. They didn't like each other. And neither did Jason's girlfriend Heather. She was mean too, man. Jason was a good friend. He was no good bastard, but he was a good friend. No, he was legit no good bastard, but he was a good friend. It's none of y'all's business why I say it's not even a bastard. If he's in heaven or hell, wherever he's at, he's not going to deny what I just said. Yeah. Jason and I had a lot of fun. Yeah, we talked a lot of UFO stuff. We took on a lot of big organizations, kicked a lot of ass when we were blowing ICO. Because he's a scrappy little motherfucker, that's why. He fight. And he knew Daddy had his back too, so
you know what? Jay and Joe,
Yo.
If I wouldn't even hire a lawyer, I would get Joe to come up to Pittsburgh and defend me. Honest to God. Oh yeah. I love it when he gets I love it. Especially when you two go at it about Egypt and pyramids.
Oh, we can't grab it no more. Jay done lost it now. They done prove how it happened. It's over.
They're starting to find. Yeah, they're starting to find some of the tools that they would have needed to at least work the harder materials like
it looks like that
they had steel.
They had steel. They had water pressure. They had light.
Oh my God, Jay!
We know they had electricity for sure.
Yeah,
Jay, how do you feel? I got to get in on this. How do you feel about that, Jay?
We need the answers. I've been saying for the whole time.
We need the answers.
On my argument, there's no way that the Egyptians could make those pyramids without the proper tools. And until we find the tools, then every theory is just pure bullshit. Now they found a steel pick or steel tool that's at a layer that would have been commensurate with the pyramid building era. And if it's not an U part, and we find more of these tools, that's the problem. Is you have to find the tools. We don't have.
Right, I understand, but what I'm saying is, Jay, you fought tooth and nail with Joe and everybody else on how you thought they were built.
That's part of research.
It's part of the research, but if the answer is coming out with what these new finds are, that's great. If they turn out to be just another false lead, then my argument still is a valid argument.
Yeah, which is possible that it may turn out to be bullshit. You really don't know. Well, Chris, this started a couple weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago. They found this thing they thought was an olive press. How you press get olive juice out of a press, olive oil out of a
olive oil, yeah.
So it was supposed to be a press, but then they realized it was like 22 feet or 24 foot tall. So they were like, "No, this can't be what this is."
Hi, Heidi.
And then they found out that underneath it was a tube that started out about this big around, and at the end it was about this big around, which connected to something else, which looked like another press. So what it looks like they've got this tower with apparently they fill it with water, and they have a rock that was a wheel that just pushes it down, and then when it gets into the hole and starts to push it through, it gets into another area that's a smaller area, but it's got the same thing. And it's got another thing. It's like two pistons, but they're just made out of rock. So, but now the thing that's funny about this is, so there's some things here. I have no doubt. I've watched water pressure cut through steel like it was butter. So I have no doubt it can cut through granite and rock. And I've actually seen it cut through. So cutting through is fine. Cutting the block sizes on site, I think they could have done. The problem is did they set one of these presses up at the place where they were taking the stones? I've never seen anything at the quarries that suggests any type of anything. No tools, no presses, no nothing. Not even how they were
there's no
lifting
gantries,
the stone. There's nothing.
There is, however, the 3 boat pits, which
there
would probably be a good place to put a big stone, and because it was right. If you look at the some of the, I guess it's the LiDAR photos, the old bank of the Nile comes like right up to where those boat pits are. That's 12,000 years ago. So they could have easily, without, if they had put all of those rocks, the bare rocks, even the rough hewn rocks, to be cut to size on site and then put in place, there would be still evidence of that damage to the earth. There would be like an area where the terrain would be different because of the weight of the stones having been laid there. So maybe they used the barges and platforms to store the stones because they are rather heavy, but they came off the river into those boat pits, whoosh, cut to size, thrown up on the rock. Next one down the plank, cut to size, thrown up.
Well, they actually said that the Egyptian barges, the way they loaded and unloaded the stone was to raise and lower the ship.
Yeah,
they were like a dice
forward to it. Yes.
So they would lower the ship and they would slide it on. They had it on rollers, I guess. They would slide it on. They would tie it down. Then they would raise the water, and then it would leave, go where it was going. They probably wanted where it was going to be cut. But that was probably the easiest, best way to do it, because we know the only place they were supposed to be using the elephants was at the pyramids themselves. No, but there's no evidence anywhere else that they were used. There's no dead ones.
Well, how did they
historical.
How'd they stack the rock?
They didn't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they did. I think they kept it on barges in the river, and when they needed it, it came to the cut site. They unloaded it from the boat right onto the cut site, and then it went straight up. Otherwise, how many stones are in one of those buildings? 20, 30,000 stones.
No, there's a lot.
20 or 30,000 60-ton stones on the ground is a huge, pain in the ass.
But just so you
got to stack them there, then you got to put them up. So, you don't. When you move anything in logistics, you don't want to touch that box more than twice. Pick it up, put it on your machine. You drive it somewhere, you take it off your machine. That's the second time you touch it. You put it down, you go away. If you have to touch it third and fourth and fifth times, you're making mistakes and you're slowing things down. So I don't think they stacked them. I think they would kept on barges. And there was a constant flow, and there's probably 30 or 40 or 50 barges in the river holding stones. And the guy would say, the mason would say, "Hey, I need a stone this big, scat," and the barge with stones that size would come up to the cut site, drop a load. They'd cut it to the size that the mason needed and put it in place right then, like immediately. This is the way that what's his name, Chris Dunn, suspects it should have been done. You can't build something like that, first of all, without a plan. You have to have advanced tools, which maybe we're starting to find, but it's still
so
sketchy. We have to verify it. It's sketchy. But then also not only plans, tools, and all that, you have to have the ability to work that material on site. Like it comes from wherever you hewn it from. You get it on site, it doesn't fit. Oh my God, what do? You got to shape it. You got to cut some more off it. Maybe an inch. So there was probably a place on site where they were taking the roughly hewn stones, fine tuning them to a precision, measurement, and then putting them in sight. They didn't goof around. They weren't setting these things on the ground and waiting for 3 or 4 days, weeks, months, what have you. There's 14, 15,000 bricks just on the exterior alone of the cover stones, limestones. So, just think of the amount of space you would have to have on your build site just for your building material. So I think the building materials were cut to order as needed, either from the river or from the limestone is actually, I think, was closer than the granite. I think the granite was something like 70 kilometers away, and the limestone's like 80 or like 40 or 50. So, but it's not nearby. They have to cut it and then bring it. So think about the just logistics of cutting all the material you need for those cover stones, and then moving it 50 kilometers, and then you dump it on the ground and someone else moves it. No, you bring it. It's like a conveyor belt, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 at a time. Cut it, place it, cut it, place it. And it was probably an ongoing thing. Otherwise, it takes you 22 years to build one of these things, not 2.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Heidi, for the nice. She says I have a nice haircut. I do.
No one ever
I look
mentions my
good.
haircut.
Look at that. I just had to get it done for Joe because I wanted to look good for
Man,
Joe.
here we go. Y'all getting weird on me again. What's that, Jesse? You look. When it comes to Egypt, all we know for sure is that it's older than what we originally thought. The pyramids aren't, but other parts of it are older. 10, 15,000 years somewhere in that landfall. Well, we was talking about on the show before this one. They were talking about religion, and I was like, well, wait now. We got cities now that are far older than what religion says we're old. I said, Christian religion says as a society we were born 6,000 years ago. Well, this is, 10,000 years before that, 9,000 years before that. So it makes it sound like it's something else. And then there's all this stuff about the Mesopotamians and the Sumerians and the Dogon talking, aliens visiting, reptilians interbreeding with our societies. Well, the reptilian thing is cool because we have a reptilian section in our brain, so it's hard for us to say, oh, it didn't happen, but we do have a reptilian section in our brain, people, so it did. It's there. It's what makes you like heck.
Well, we have what they call a triparty brain. I forget what the exact. It's a French word. Anyway, there's the core, the stem, the brain stem is the insectoid brain. Is basically instinct. Eat, poop, breed. That's all they really are. It's just that, and that's what runs our regulatory systems. It runs our heart, our blood, our nervous systems, our muscles, all that, and our food distribution once we eat. The next segment of our brain that covers that part, the brainstem, that's where the reptilian part is. And then wrapped around the outside of that is the squiggly part, which is the mammalian brain. So we got 3 different animal brains from the animal kingdom in our heads. Imagine if there was a 4th one. Imagine if there was another one.
We had enough
like
brain.
Bird or fish, Think
Jackie,
about that.
The Dogon talk about the Nemos used to come down and steal the women from the Sumerians to rape them and bring them back pregnant. They would be born and the children would just be different. Not that they looked different, they just acted different. They were no longer willing to be a slave, is what it was. Probably the start of the Egyptian civilization. At least the one we know of.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, yeah, Joe, but read on the screen.
What do we got on screen?
This is from U.S. Army Vet,
Army Vet.
7077.
7077.
We've had reptilian contactees on the show, many of them over the years. Well, yeah, minty. Matter of fact, a good friend of mine who's actually talked to him a couple of years, a Dolphin, was having an affair with him. No, serious. So Dolphin and I used to do 10 and 15-minute clips for the station and for the for iCar so that people could assimilate information easier. So we did a lot of both these. And it's what do you mean, Bruce? I don't know. Now you make me forget what I was thinking. Yeah, see, that's what happens. That's what happens. You're crazy and you get old at the same time. But, reptilians, we've had 5, 6. Okay, so the policeman, he was a reptilian contactee. He's the one that got bit on the shoulder. There's the cops and army that were down for the hurricane. You've seen them French Quarter. I'm just trying to go through my head and see it. And there's Lord, yes, that's actually a few reptilian contactees. Well, with Dolphine, I mean, she was dating this guy who's gorgeous and all sorts of stuff. She's telling about him all the time. And I was like, well, I said, there's just something about him don't sound right. I said, some of the things you discuss when you're with him just sounds more extraterrestrial than it sounds human. So I just asked her, I said, let me hypnotize you and see if there's anything underneath there. So on the hypnosis, it seemed like there might have been. So I didn't want to just bring the memory out like that. So I told her, I said, the next time you think you're being taken and they're doing something, reach out and touch his arm. She said he would be there sometimes. I said, just put in your memory what his arm felt like. Does it feel like human flesh? It didn't feel like something else. She said it felt like cool sweat. So it's not human. It's something else. Anyway, long story short, he turned out to be a big alpha reptilian.
You what?
He turned out to be a big alpha reptilian. And so the reptiles are allowed to take humans for sex, male or female, by the way. It's because you're part of their, what's the word? It's not a coven, but it's anyway, you're part of their family. So if you've been abducted by them, that means that somewhere along the line they intervene with your family or interbred with your family. That reptilian section in your brain belongs to them. It's part of their DNA directly. So, and all the aliens abduct the family. Mainly the Greys do it because that's how they attract the families. The humans do it because they thought they were going to make some super omnipotent super race that just didn't seem to work out. Not just, they say the human aliens are wicked. Yeah, everybody says it. Matter of fact, the reptilians, until the birth of Christ, no one even thought the reptilians were nothing but good to bear us life, to bring them children, to bring them money and food, water and power. But then after Christ was born, and I'm not even blaming it on that, I'm just saying it just seemed to be around that time.
So they get demonized in the Garden of Eden story.
Yeah, so then it flipped. And then you had, well, Adam and Eve story is not even the first story like that. There's some older than that. Same thing with Noah's. Noah's Ark actually goes back much further than the Bible does.
There's a story called the Enuma Elish, and what's the other one with Gilgamesh in it? Anyway, these two epics recant almost exactly word for word, chapter by chapter, the first 5 books of the Judeo-Christian Islamic Bibles, which is very strange. All the main 3 religions of the world today are based off of this Sumerian text. But within the text, there are 3 Noahs. Utnapishtim, I can't remember all the names. Utnapishtim is the main one. Atrahasis is the other one. And then there's a third one. And they all have really strange names. But there's 3 dudes that survive. Not 1, but 3. 3 different family lines, at least. And then if you really think about it, when they say, don't go over there, everyone who goes over there, people die. Well, how do you know people go over there and die? Because someone survived to tell the story. That's how we know. Someone's, spilt the beans, as it were.
Yeah, we had a reptilian. We were talking about a reptilian on the other show.
He said, Army Vet says, do you have any recent reptilian cases? I haven't had any reptilian experiences in a while, a few years at least. It seems like abductions overall have decreased, but are still going on.
Well, decrease, that's a weird thing to say because in some cases they do decrease. In some cases they go away altogether.
I think it's more or less like they're not reported anymore as much.
No, well, what happens is, so a lot of the hardcore abductions that you remember are going to happen in your 20s, right? Your teens, your 20s, and your 30s. And for some reason, they leave a harder lasting impression than when you get in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. It doesn't seem to bother as much. And the contact changes. There's no more than experiments and none of that crap going on. They usually got you helping out with the children, helping out with the contactees, or learning something new. So it's a different type of experience. So they treat you different in You actually treat them different, and they want to help people who want to be part of whatever it is that they're doing. But they abducting family lines. There's no doubt about that. Whose family lines is they go pick out.
Yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't seem like they're special family lines. Meaning, it doesn't seem like they're royal families or Christ or anything. They just seem like they're just everyday families that had something special.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds like, I mean, they say truth is stranger than fiction. Frank Herbert wrote the fictional universe of Dune, and within that universe is a group of women which would basically equivalent to nowadays would be a nun, very religious nun, hyper religious, zealot type nun. But they had an ongoing, these nuns called the Bene Gesserit, where they had an ongoing genetic breeding program designed to help them create the Kwisatz Haderach, a super being that they hoped they could control, and then with that overthrow the universe. But that's actually what's going on. There's abduction stories where the aliens aren't just doing this on our planet; they're doing it on other, let's just say, equally developed worlds to us, but lesser developed to them. They're not just doing it to us; they're doing it to all other species.
Jay, I have to admit, that was deep. That was really, really deep.
When I heard that, wow.
Well, you lost me at the second sentence, so that was deep.
Well, basically, what the aliens are doing here, they're doing on other planets in our galaxy. They're not doing it just on Earth. There's the planets that have life around us and near us. They're doing the same stuff there as well that they're doing to our species, doing to their species.
Well, isn't that special? It's I'm just saying, isn't that special? I don't know how much. It seems like with other races, sometimes it's different. Like with the black-eyed people, they tend to bring them on board the big ship more for encounters with us. I mean, so there's encounters on Earth, and there's probably encounters on their own homeworld. But they seem to bring them on the ship more for personal encounters. They seem to want to do it there more. So I'm not sure why they would even be wandering around on our planet anyway. They're probably not supposed to be. The grays, you can keep walking with a gray. If I took a gray, and then you think, oh no, what is that? Something else entirely. It was a gray for a minute until the gray took over your brain and said, no, it's not. It's something else.
Yeah. You see something else, right?
Excuse me. Yeah, if I remember what NASA was talking about, if the grays would be the highest scale there is for telepathy, and then just quadruple that a few times. Yeah, and then you might be getting close to what their psychic ability does. They say they can communicate across time and space with thought. That's a pretty damn powerful brain, if you ask me.
Yeah. And like Spock said on Star Trek, and I don't think it. I think it applies to these group of people just as much. They were talking about the Telosians when in the episode of The Cage, when the first pilot for the show, they're talking about those people's brain power. Spock says that they could reach out with their mind power and have one of us push the wrong button, flick the wrong switch, and boom, we're history. Well, not only could they do that, but I'm sure with their mind power, they could probably very easily just go, "Oh, look at that tin can." Crunch with their mind power.
Oh, okay. So let's get to Star Trek here. For some reason, Spock came into my mind when you were talking about him, and I thought, could Spock be a reptilian?
Well, he's green skin, green blood. I guess he could.
They had copper based genetics. I don't think they ever did specify what subspecies they evolved from. Let's see if Google knows. Hey Google, search the internet, the wiki database on Star Trek. What species of creature did the Vulcans evolve from?
The dickless
In
one.
Star Trek, there is no single definitive answer regarding Vulcan evolution. While some theories suggest they evolved from local primate-like ancestors on the planet Vulcan, other in-universe explanations point to ancient humanoid progenitors who seeded DNA across the galaxy billions of years ago.
Yeah,
It's
Google
also been
stop. Yeah, so the two possibilities are there is a group within the original series universe that it admits to having seeded that part of the galaxy with all the species that are there: Klingon, Vulcan, everybody, humans. There's that, but also in order for them to look that close to us, and then the same thing for the Greys and the reptilians, they must also have had a primate co-evolutionary growing up wherever they evolved from. Otherwise, I don't think their DNA would link with ours as easily. So you don't see us putting
So let me
sheep
ask you,
parts
why
on it.
do you think they would be mixing their DNA with ours?
Because they say they did in the Sumerian texts.
That's not what they said. They said they created a race. They said they created a subspecies of their self that created us, but they didn't say they used their DNA to make us. They said they took an animal from this planet to make us.
Mixed with their DNA, yes.
No, not mixed with their DNA. So the original story is that they came, they couldn't go outside, so they created their self over. When that group of society started to go out and get into the world, they said, no, why are we mining things? We're a super omnipotent race. What the hell are we doing? And they created what they call the 7 creations of man. The last creation of man was just dumb. They had none of their DNA. It was just, it was bland. It probably had a chemical body makeup, but I doubt it had any of the DNA had anything to do with their brain power because their brains are shaped different than ours. They're not shaped like ours. They're deeper, longer, weirder. We're just more brain, actually. So I don't know how that would have panned out for such a small brain animal like ourselves.
Yeah, the Anunnaki brain is something on the order of 120 cc's larger than ours.
So knowing all that makes you wonder that it looks like what they really were doing was just trying to upgrade us so that we could actually communicate with them. And then they realized
that was part of the experiment.
Yeah, but they realized we were just we just weren't there yet. Technologically and mentally, we're just not there yet. We just don't understand. We're too caught up in chasing the dollar or watching the news TV or going out to the game or whatever, going out to dinner. We're just too caught up in it. We just can't get past any of that stuff. It's like a trap for us. It's a bad trap, too, because humans can't seem to get away from it. And as it's going on, you have things like what's going on in New York. Everybody's turning into socialist, communist. It's like a weird movement inside. It's like a sub-movement, actually, inside the country. It's very weird. Jackie, I don't know, but it's getting aggravating. I'm getting tired of worrying about if our country's going to be a free country.
And they keep saying Trump is the one taking all of our, rights and things away. But now you got these 4 new DSA agents, if you will, Democratic socialist assholes, that have a chance to get fairly powerful positions in cities throughout the country. 3 in New York, and I forget what the other 4th one is. But some of their tickets are they want to take your house away and let it be used by the greater good. They want to take your money away. If you make over a certain amount of money, they're going to tax you more and or take your. I forget what prompted him to say it, but at some point this week or last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, Mom Donnie said something to the effect that he was going to try to seize billionaires' money, just flat out seize their bank accounts.
But he can't do it. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't mean I know he can't.
No, I want him. I want him to try it because that would be some type of felony. He'd come arrested.
Oh, he'll definitely go to jail. Yeah, but that's what he wants to do. Basically, steal their money.
And he's going to get a bunch of them people up there behind him. But look, people. I'm telling y'all now, stop fucking with the rich people because they pay the majority of the taxes in this country, and by far, it's not even close. The top 1% pay half. The top 5% pay 3/4.
Have any of you guys ever been to New York City?
Yeah,
Long time ago, dude. Back in
There's this little place in there called Rockefeller Center. It's got this ginormous statue. It's an enormously huge space within the city. During the summer, it's a fountain. During the winter, it's a ice skating rink. And they put the city's grand Christmas tree up there every year. And that was donated to the city for free by a millionaire named Rockefeller.
they just.
So tell me how they're messing up the country by not paying their way through.
Yeah, they're paying.
People in New York City couldn't ice skate without him. Now he's giving them an ice skating rink. It's been there 50 some plus years.
I mean, look at Elon. Not only is Elon paying a big chunk of money, but he's doing projects that help humans. Just gotta wonder why people give him so much shit. He does look kind of weird, though.
He is weird. He talks kind of like the short bus kid.
I'm going full cube with this. No, Jimmy, I've never heard Elon cuss. Oh, I doubt it. I bet you did.
that'd be funny if he went up to Mondami and said, "Hey, I'm buying New York."
He has the money to do it. I mean,
I'm buying New York.
Buy the whole damn state and fire Hope. Say,
yeah.
if you're blue, get out. Go live in Pittsburgh.
Oh, I would love to. I would do it. Absolutely. I'd be like, hey, I just bought New York City. You're fired. Piss off, Mom Donnie.
And for some reason, they will blame Trump for that.
They're not going to get away with that. So.
Yeah.
Their problem is their blame guy has only got 2 years left. Mm-hmm. He's out. So they got to start coming.
So why are they still going after him? Why don't they just say fuck it?
Because it's about keeping you distracted. So if all you're thinking about is hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump, you're not thinking about why the economy. So here's something for y'all. Dun, 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 dun. So in 2010, they had this pool redone. Okay, so the contractor who redid it was on making one of the news medias making some shit saying, "Oh, Trump asked, but we told him no, and he's running some kind of scam, blah 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 blah." So oh, that's how you would have been. So I knew everybody was still logged in, so I popped on and started talking. I'm like, well. I said, let me get this straight. I said, aren't you the guy that redid the pool in 2010? He said, yeah. I said, didn't it cost $35 million? I said, oh man, you know damn good well it cost $35 million. I said, why did Trump do what he did? Oh, that's right, because the pool was still leaking, the algae was still in it, and it wasn't reflected the money. I said, so you did it for $35 million and wrecked it, and didn't even fix any of the fountains or any of the area around it. Trump did it for 14. Fixed it, made it pretty, and fixed the fountains and other monuments around it as well. Plus, he put security in D.C. Oh my God, come on! I mean, I don't mind you hate, you can't help yourself. You Trump's little bitch. Well, anybody hating on Trump right now, it just means that Trump owns you. You dream about Trump. You are Trump's little bitch. Y'all don't realize we all Trump all the time. Just help him out. Oh, and there's 2 new polls that I know y'all trying to slap another one in, 32, 36 polls. I'm sure. APC just put out there, was a 27,000 person poll. Trump's actually sitting around 47, 48% of his gas has dropped again in most places. Oh, but in the next week, gas will be all back to where it was pre-wartime. Which also means prices will come down because diesel gets cheaper.
Oh, shit. I need to tell you this, man. When I was up in Gettysburg, I paid $3.68 for a gallon of gas.
Damn.
$3.68. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I even asked the owner. I said, "Is that for real? Am I dreaming? $3.68." It's like the highest I saw out there was $4.09.
Well, the cheapest down
here
I think is
here today, actually.
The cheapest down here right now about a house is $249. The most expensive is like $283.
Damn.
Yeah. And but this is what you got to remember, especially you blue state people. Last night when we checked the price for a barrel, it was $69 a barrel. So that's only $9 higher than it was when we went to war. It was $60 a barrel. We were only paying $1.62 a gallon down here. So if it stays on course and it drops $1 that it's supposed to, we'll be right there where we were from the war started. We'll be between 140 and 170 a gallon. Yeah, that's nice, man. Because the Camry at $2 a gallon, the Camry only takes what, $30? I don't even take that on the thing. Yeah, it probably takes about $30 because it's got a reserve. So yeah, $30. No, at 3 it's 45, and at 4 it's 60. Yeah, putting $60 of gas in a Camry seems like there should be a law against that. I don't know. I am car shopping, Jesse. I have been for a couple of days. I don't know. I've looked at all kinds of stuff. Starting to give me a headache about so much stuff. You know how you turned over? No, really. I mean, I've actually looked at a bunch of stuff. Okay, what's going on? Me and my camera. Nah, Jack, I'm trying to turn my camera back on. I'm gonna have it back. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Oh, there he is.
Okay. What the bleep, man? What the bleep is going on?
You trying to put something up on the air?
No, I was just trying to get my damn camera to stay on. It kept turning itself off.
Oh,
You're haunted. There's a ghost in your house. There's a ghost in your house.
I have come for you, person.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost.
Scumbags.
It's called, I'm telling you what, the 29th, Mercury's in retrograde. So don't do nothing.
Mercury can suck my, my pole, see. Little peaches on.
The hell's that, Joe?
What's that?
What's that?
That's my alien probing stick. So what happens is people aggravate me, probing stick kicks on. And it's even got little rubber tips to make it a little easier. You're like, shh.
Jay, does that look familiar?
This all vibrates and stuff. It can say like that, and yeah, it's pretty rough.
I just asked Jay if that looked familiar.
No, of course not, Sean. You of all people should know you're asleep when they do that.
You know, buddy. No wonder I get a hard on.
Oh my god! What's that, Jimmy? I don't know these guys. Well, thank you, telling me I look tired. Fuck you too. I said, no, I'm just kidding. It's actually I haven't been asleep yet. No, I've been up 30 hours, 40, 35 hours.
Oh damn!
No, I don't know what happened. So we got off air last night. It was 2. When I got in bed, it was messing around. I said, "Oh, I wanted to make a snack." Got snacks. Something. It was like 3. I said, "All right, I'm going to bed." And I did something. Next thing I knew, it was 6. I was like, "Fuck." Yeah, so okay, I'm going to go to bed, and then something happened. Dogs got barking, running around, all kind of crazy, screeching, and yelling, and howling. I'm like, "Fuck." So finally, I get to myself. Then at 7, I get in bed. I'm like, all right. Now I know I got to wake up at 10 because I got groceries coming. All right, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna fall asleep. I guess that makes coffee. I'm like, fuck it, I give up. I just got up. Went and got a cup of coffee. I like trying to get a cup of coffee into one of them.
Yeah, that's about what happened to me. I was up till about 6 too. I didn't go to sleep till 6 o'clock.
Well, I mean, it's not unusual for me to go to. No, so on the weekdays I used to go to bed between 2 and 3. On the weekends, 6 isn't unheard of for me to be up to. Well, sometimes I watch sunrise. Sometimes I'll just be playing stuff, doing things. Mornings are different. Evenings are different. I used to always like between like 12:30 and 4:30 in the morning. I always loved being out at that time. Even up to as late as 5. After 5, the sky starts changing. You get ready to break for dawn. Around 5:30, you can start to see a different color in the sky. I'm not pregnant. No, that's Sean that's pregnant.
No, I'm not.
He's pregnant. I mean, like big pregnant.
No, man. I'm just like too good looking to get pregnant, man. I'm just like hot.
Show that to the aliens.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously, man.
Man, I've been in a late like this. If y'all hear me snoring, you know what happened? It's no, Jesse. It's no. This chair's actually got a heater and a vibrator, and I just never use it when I'm on air. Oh hell no! Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You use a vibrator. Oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah,
Joe.
man. There's nothing wrong with a vibrator, man. What's wrong with you?
Damn. That's
Vibrators
funny.
have good side effects, man. You know what else a good vibrator is good for? Oh, I'll tell you this for we're at this really fancy home, right? We get rented. It was like $6,000, $7,000 a week. It's like 15 years ago. And so we're in there, and I was looking for something. I just made a drink. I couldn't find something to stir with, so one of the girls had left us the vibrator table. I just picked it up, took it, hit the button on, stuck it in.
Okay, Heidi.
Buzzed up my drink real good and pulled it out. Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
Heidi. Just be safe watering the garden. Okay. Don't
Hey, I
want
thought
you to get a
said-
bruise.
Heidi, I thought you said you were making me a white Russian. Well, I'm going to have to call you the B word now. You little butterfly.
How can you talk about Heidi like that, man? She does it.
Called her a butterfly. Come on, give me a break. Actually, no, this girl that was on with, Jay, I love her. She'd be slapping Jay all over. He'd be like, yippee-ki-yay, baby, smack me some more. Ain't nothing wrong with a little yippee-ki-yay. Yippee-ki-yay is good for the soul.
That's funny.
It's good for the blood, too. Oh, you mean about the art? So when I was talking to this girl earlier, we were talking about the RH positive because and the RH negative. And I said, well, then I said, since we know there's a difference in personalities and people and stuff between RH negative and RH positive, I said, I don't know what Jesus was. Was he RH negative? Was he RH positive? Now, since he's from the original old world, I have to say positive. Which would mean, Jackie, that we're not part of their kingdom. But, so just to put this in perspective, I didn't realize how big of an argument there is between who gets to go to heaven and who don't. So, if you're only believing the Old Testament, nobody gets to go to heaven but the Jews. The 12 tribes, 144,000. And everybody says, well, Jesus died on the cross for us to go to hell. But you know what? It doesn't actually say that. And he was a Jew. He wasn't a Christian. So we're making assumptions when we say he died on the cross for us. And everything that was written about this event was written 300 years after the, well, in some cases about 155 years after the case. Regardless, the person who originally wrote it was dead.
Yeah.
So they were taking a story written by someone that they could not verify who's in this gospel. And there was so many, like St. Thomas was taken out of there. Mary Magdalene's taken out of there. There's quite a few gospels that were included.
Mary Magdalene is wrongly accused in the edited version as being a prostitute when in actuality she was probably Jesus's wife.
She was
because Jesus was a teacher, and
he was.
He had been married as a rabbi to become a rabbi.
That's right.
That's correct.
Be a rabbi. And you have to be at least 35. So that's why I always said Jesus was older than we were told, because it's too short of a span of life right there where he became rabbi, got married, had kids, and died. It just was too short.
Right. But see, that's why you don't read nothing in the Bible after he turned 12. You don't hear nothing until he turned 35.
He disappears.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, see, that's what I thought. I always thought, well, I was starting to disappear, but no, he didn't. We know we can find him. We can trace him. So I didn't realize this until I started doing research on this a while back. It wasn't even that long ago. A couple of years, decade, and down here at that moment. We started tracking. I started looking in old Roman lore that talked about anything that was weird like this. Anybody who came to town who had special powers or drew special attention. Not everybody called him Jesus. I didn't know that either. He had aliases.
His name isn't Jesus.
Yeah, and he also traveled with his brothers, which they didn't really mention that before. So you find this out. Well, first mention is a governor of this village talking about he's coming to stay at the village. What should he do about it? And Caesar writes back and said nothing. And then you see another one of these letters almost saying the same thing. He's coming to stay here. This is a city, not a village, but he's coming to stay here along with his people. What should we do about it? And Caesar wrote back, nothing. I guess they just didn't want to make a big deal out of him and make him martyr and make everybody start following him, because that's what happened in Israel. The Romans seemed to play it differently. And the Romans, the Romans were smart in the fact that they didn't condemn Jesus to death. They let the Jews do it. They basically said, okay, you want him done? You go ahead and do it. We'll step out of the way. Because they had criminals there that, like Brutus and others, that needed to go to jail, but they let them loose so they could crucify Jesus. Yes, the Guardian, what is that, Yosemite? Is that where it was? God, it's been a long time. Yeah, I taught Sunday school. I taught Wednesday school.
Seriously, they need to rewrite the whole Bible. I'm sorry.
Well,
no, they don't need to rewrite it. They just need to restore it to the original story.
What they really need to do is say, okay, humans, Codex, this needed to put out the, 12, 14 Codex. They just put them out there. Then they need to put the first, I think, 8, 9 versions of the Bible. And now, remember, we lost some stuff during the book burnings of the Inquisitions. The Bible had been transformed in there a couple of times, and other things went on. And so it just, once we left the first eon, first 1,000 years, and moved into the second one, where Europe was starting to really develop into civilization, it seemed like everything changed. And if you have to wonder if Jesus, first off, was he still alive? How long a lifespan did he have? Was it just a normal everyday lifespan like any other human, or did he?
Is he immortal? Because they do promise immortality.
And well, one of them gets made immortal. Oh, was it Pontius? Who? Judas? Who?
Lazarus is raised from the dead, but he's not given immortality.
No. One of them was cursed with immortality.
It was the soldier that pierced Jesus' side.
Oh,
that was his punishment.
The sword of
punishment. I don't know his name.
It's the name of that. It's the name of the spear tip, the spear of Longinus. His name is Longinus, also known as the spear of destiny.
Yeah, he's the one that got immortal because of that.
What's that, Christopher? Well, we know Jesus at the very least was a historical figure, because he is mentioned in other places than just Israel. Yeah. Well, there's kings in the area that talk about it, which we carried on one of the shows recently we did. There's no, it went out of my brain. I was reading something while I was telling you, and it went out of my brain. Sorry about that.
We got a break.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was making a stink everywhere. I mean, all around the area. But I mean, he's also mentioned in writings in the Far East, in China, and near Buddhist temples. He's been heard of, or there's some rumor that he spent some time. I don't think they were contemporary, but if the time frames are off with the Bible, year dates, which is highly possible, he could have been a contemporary and hung out with, Siddhartha Gautama, who is the Buddha. There's some paintings of them hanging out together under a tree together, kind of like an enclave or commune kind of situation. So he's definitely an historical figure, and he was arrested for upsetting the money lenders' carts, at the outdoor fair, or where you bought things. He found out they were cheating and turned all their tables upside down, and he was arrested for doing that. That's why they arrested him. He wasn't arrested because he was creating a new religion. He was arrested because he messed with the people's money.
Are we due for a break?
In 14 minutes.
Okay.
14.
Yeah. Oh, we're going at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah, once you go past the 15-minute mark, you just go to the bottom of the hour. It's
okay.
So actually we were all wrong. Can't believe that. It was Calibus, the guy who mocked Jesus when he was carrying the cross. to his
Oh yeah, that's what I'm. But the guy who pierced him is named Longinus. I think he was given.
No, we're talking about the guy who was cursed and went to the planet for eternity. Is who we're talking about. And that's the guy they say that was cursed and went to the planet.
Oh,
See, I thought it was Judas or the other guy, and it's none of the people I thought it was. That just F off. But I thought Judas was cursed too. So,
Well, you know what? Here's my theory on it. If you all want to know what I think, I think Judas got a raw deal because if you look at it, if you look at Judas the name, and you know the Judeans crucified him, so whoever wrote that book kind of said, okay, so the Judeans crucified Christ, so let's go and blame Judas for it. I believe that. I really believe that because the names match almost.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he was. I mean, what did he get? 8 pieces of silver.
30 pieces of silver. Yeah.
Didn't he hang himself after that, Joe?
I don't remember what happened to J.S. Google.
Hey Google, what happened to Judas after Jesus was crucified?
Accounts of Judas Iscariot's death varied.
What?
Thanks. Apparently, stories of his death vary.
Oh.
Hey Google, what happened to Judas Iscariot? How did he die?
The Bible provides 2 different accounts of Judas Iscariot's death, which have led to various historical interpretations. In the Gospel of Matthew, Judas is described as being filled with remorse after the betrayal. He returns his payment to the priests and hangs himself. Conversely, the book of Acts records that Judas purchased a field with his reward, where he fell headlong, his body burst open, and his intestines spilled out. Some scholars suggest these accounts are not necessarily.
That second one's wrong.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Hey Google, stop.
That second one ain't right.
So he fell on his face and his intestines burst out of his insides. Okay, that's
Oh
a
my
good story.
God, who thought of that one?
It's in the Bible, she said. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently somebody who hated him.
Isn't that goofy? That's goofy.
I believe the first one. He hung himself.
Maybe.
But then again, if you look at that damn Bible, right? If you look at it, Lucifer was only mentioned one time in that whole Bible, one time, where Satan was mentioned 32 times. So my theory behind that is, if they really believe that Lucifer was Satan, instead of Satan being said, why didn't they just say Lucifer? You know, I know that sounds crazy.
No, because see what gets weird here is, okay, you can say Beelzebub and Satan and Lucifer were all different beings. And then you can also say they were all the same, because it could be like the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. They could all be the same being, just different shadows of the same being. The question we have to ask is, an archangel as powerful as God is and can split itself like that? Because none of us
I don't think so. I don't.
I mean, archangels are pretty powerful, so you know.
Well, I know they are, Joe, but I'm just saying, I believe in all, and I did research this a lot, and I listened to a lot of guys that studied the Bible, professors and stuff, and I truly believe he was sent down from heaven to keep an eye on Satan. You know what I mean? Because if Satan had full reign of the earth right now, we wouldn't have an earth. There'd be so many fires and wars and shit like that. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it.
That's one possible. One possibility is that without religion as a dogma to our society, we go off to be a normal society, and all the stuff that is bad that's caused because of hatred or to do with religion goes away.
Right.
Our society becomes peaceful, which means there is no place for anything. It gets washed out. So it's just all about the way you see the universe, and where do you think the universe is going to be in 10 years, 50 years, 100 years. That's going to dictate a lot of how things fall out. It's Christopher, it's Carpowitz, or it's Carpowitz, Philus, often referred to as the wandering Jew. He mocked Jesus during the journey to crucifixion, leading Jesus to curse him with immortality, condemning him to wander the earth until the second coming.
Oh wow! And
Well,
what's his name
what-
again? Chaldus.
It's Carpulus. Capulus. Anybody who knows how to pronounce this, feel free to
Let me
chime
look
in.
at it.
It's
I mean, Jay, isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay wants Doomsday, man. Doomsday Jay.
If Jay becomes immortal, then even after the earth explodes, Jay will still be alive.
No, because you'll be disintegrated. You won't be alive. You'll be dust. Yeah, I don't think we can survive disintegration.
Can you imagine if they had a race of Jays? Think about it.
Oh, I'd be moving to a different galaxy. What you talking about? Yeah. I love you, Jay. I'm gone,
Okay.
buddy. I'm gone.
It looks
Alpha
like, okay.
Centauri is somewhere.
The name I have here is Ahasuerus. Ahasuerus is the guy who was cursed to walk for immortality.
See, and I originally said it was Judas, but now I'm still reading it. It's on the thing. Well, Jack, that's why we talk about this shit all the time.
That's right.
You hear Jay and I talk about shit like not just this particular one we're talking about right now, but all kind of shit where you can pull up different names and different things for something you know should actually be a certain way. Yeah. What did he get cursed for, Jay?
Let me go back up to it. Ahasuerus was a Jew who was cursed by Christ in Matthew 16:28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming into his kingdom. He is doomed to never die until the second coming or until the end of the world / Armageddon, what have you. That's what they say.
You see?
Hmm.
Oh, Jack, that's how it is.
Well, I have a
And you
theory.
just heard the one I just read to him just a minute ago. Yeah, I know, it's weird.
It is weird. They
So
should rewrite the whole damn book.
And I actually do remember the one during Jew turn now. I didn't know the name though. The name does for some reason look familiar, but I can't say it's because of this. It just looks really familiar.
Well, there's also a plant called a wandering Jew.
Yeah, but that's what it's named after. Is this?
Hey, Jay,
Oh,
can you find out who the soldier was that pierced Jesus' side?
Jay knows the name.
Longinus.
Longinus?
Longinus, 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 the sphere of destiny, or the spear of Longinus.
Okay.
I was actually reading that when you asked about the other guy. So let's see. There's the wandering Jew thingy. So what happened in Longinus after Jesus died? Some accounts have him leaving the life of a soldier and living as a monk. Some say that he was martyred by Pilate for his confession that Jesus was the Son of God. There are relics of Saint Longinus in the reliquary chapel of the Basilica in Italy, and he is depicted in stained glass also within the Basilica in several places.
Huh.
So
Okay.
he becomes a very important character after, post mortal death of Jesus, or the second death. Actually, he dies twice, and he disappears the second time.
Let's see. 14 minutes. We can't. It's too long. Gene. I'm actually looking at the one during June now, seeing if it's consistent.
Yeah, there's a blurb here about wandering Jews.
I don't fucking trust history as far as I can throw it. If I can't lift it up, pick it up. That's not
Yep.
wrong. I can't throw it anywhere.
Yep.
So no, I don't. There's too much. We keep finding too much shit that's not supposed to exist in our history. I mean, every time I turn around, new sunken city, new pyramid. Oh, look at this. We found a damn gear in a freaking piece of coal that's 2 million years old. Whoa, what? And how the fuck did we do that? In a place that's never even been a civilization. That was the crazy part. They found these things. They found 2 different old parts and some lava that came out of a volcano in a place that's never had life. No one's ever lived there. And
So,
yet,
what do you guys think of Scott Walters? Do you think he changed a lot of the
No.
history?
Scott Wolter?
Yeah.
He's done some pretty cool stuff. I like the show. I think he's in control of something right now, which could be a rewrite for certain aspects of our history books. But no, I don't think he's done anything.
Okay,
You
now
know.
that's the next question. That's a good segue for this question I'm going to ask. If they find out the stuff that Scott Walters found and what they found on Oak Island, are they allowed to rewrite the history books?
We're going to have no choice. They will have no choice eventually.
Joe?
I don't know. It depends. It depends how popular it actually stays. So if it's just forgotten about, they won't even force the issue. That'll be fine. And like Oak Island and stuff, it's waned so much. I don't know if it can be. But if it's legit and they find it and the media picks it up and it goes hog ass wild, and people are like, yeah, look what they found, they'll have to rewrite history because it's not supposed to be there.
Huh.
But it has to be in a grandiose way, not in some real half-ass way. If it's half-ass, they're not going to pay attention. But if it's grandiose, they'll do it.
Hey, Joe, we are at 8:30 p.m. now. We're at the bottom of the hour.
So Jay, his name in this article is spelled with a K. It first tells the Carpius, the doorkeeper of the judgment hall.
Oh, my God.
That's why he's here. He's stuck here.
Wow.
This shit gets more complicated as it goes on. Anyway,
and it links to the Wandering Jew. It's all kinds. It's just a weird. There's a weird synchronicity going on there with that immortality guy.
Yeah, Jack, there's something strange. Wow, first off, there's 4 different names. Pick one that you want to be the guy.
Right.
So you got the guy who killed Jesus. You got the guy who made fun of Jesus. There was somebody, the gatekeeper guy, and there was somebody else besides that. I'm thinking, really, people, come on. You make it more complicated than it has to be. This is what happened. Well, that's what happens when you write something down and then they rewrite it down 200 years later.
Yep. Yes.
You don't know. And it's worse than that, John, because monks were writing it down. Monks hated. Well, okay, hate might be a strong word. Let's just say they weren't happy with women. Obviously, when you read the Bible, you know somebody wasn't happy with women.
Well, look at the book of John, dude. Okay? The book of John was written 96 years after Christ died. Okay? The dude that wrote that book 96 years after Christ died, how can you blame Judas? How do you know? How did this guy know that Judas was sold? They got 30 pieces of silver.
Well, there might have been, but that might have been okay. Some stuff you can do because, believe it or not, the people kept records back then. We got records from Rome from a long time ago. We got records from all over the Middle East. Now they're not great, they're not always accurate, but they do have them. So you could go back and look and say this was a story, this is what was said. It's still a secondhand knowledge because you're not there,
right?
And some of it's even third-hand knowledge. So you're making a lot of assumptions. You automatically assume that that's real and that's how it was done. So the reason they say it's real is because they're taking the letters of the apostles and turning them into the Bible. But the problem with that is we don't know if they embellished the letters because none of us were there.
Okay.
So you want him to be the Messiah, so therefore you're going to embellish the things. And when it comes to the miracles, how big of miracles were these? Curing lepers is a pretty big one. But everything else can probably be redone in today's society.
Probably.
It's but Jesse, it doesn't make just because we can do it now does not make it, because back then it still would have been a miracle because nobody could do it. All I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily take a super omnipotent super being to do it, because we're not super omnipotent super beings, or we're just a regular everyday folk. Well, the thing when you get into God, it gets really weird to me. First off, I don't know why he wants to sit around all day and listen to you whiny bitches, especially you progressive liberals. Oh my God. Sorry about that guy, but I mean, I'd be lightning bolting your ass off the planet. Are you still whining? I'll be calling my buddy Thor. I'll be calling Zeus. I need some hand, man.
Oh.
These whiny bitches. Zeus, I remember how it was, man.
Okay,
I'm coming to help you
okay.
out.
I got something for you guys. I saw something on Fox News that 13 Democrats decided to leave their party or something.
Yeah.
Not that I've heard. I haven't heard
Yeah,
that.
Joe, have you heard that? Jay?
I haven't. No. All I heard is there's 4 new socialists.
Yeah. DSAs.
Yeah. Oh, I was listening to AOC today. She says she will be her privilege to be your new president of the United States.
What?
And she will do the best job of any person ever.
So she's going to run. She's going to run.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what her polling numbers are as we get closer to the election. See, because right now all they're polling is these northern places, which are all liberals, and they're kind of that deep left-leaning liberal. So she's gonna probably poll good there. But the rest of the country is already pissed that there's 4 socialists running New York.
Right. Or no, they're not running yet. They have to be.
Well, that's right. That's right. They still got to win the election. They're going to be running against Republicans. They got to win the election. What do you mean? What other states do I think you could get? I think you could see maybe in Minnesota if they haven't got fed up with the Somalis fraud yet. If they have, then you want to see it. Maybe Colorado. Maybe Source 9. Maybe Colorado. Yeah. Maybe not. What do you mean fuck the police, man? Oh, you mean the song "Fuck the Police," man? Yeah, I remember I was playing that song one time. About a year later, I'm out working on my truck, and I hear "Fuck the Police," man. Fuck the police, man. Playing it, they're rocking. I mean, they just jamming. I look, it was my freaking 9-year-old son. I'm like, I'm gonna whoop your ass, buddy. It is on. Oh man. I said, you're getting an ass whooped. No, Daddy, no, he's fast, he little shit. I would throw remote controls and he'd dodge. I said, if you dodge and you break my remote control, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, I ain't letting it hit me. It's like, you got it. That's the way you break it. I ain't doing control. Are you talking back to me, boy? It's like, damn. It was a frustrating upbringing, I can tell you. Gee, no, he's, he's 40. Yeah. I was 9 when I got his mom pregnant. I started really young. I'll just be making 50 this year.
That's funny.
No, really, I was 9. Like Source 9 then. I was 9. Yeah, I just walked in and said, hey, and I was 9. She was like, 30. I said, bitch, bend over. Let's see what's going on. And she said, okay. The next thing I knew, I was a dad.
Oh man, you're gonna burn at the cross, dude. You gotta go to confessions.
Yeah, confession does. No, we get. Jay was supposed to be getting a song, so I don't know what he's doing. He's out playing with his thing or something.
Yeah, Jay's supposed to be getting us a song.
I know he forgot.
Sorry, Jay had to run to go see a man about a horse. Otherwise, he would have had to clean up more of the office than he wanted to.
Jay's playing a song. No, we're gonna take a break. Probably.
No, we weren't doing songs.
Find something.
What can we play? It won't get us in trouble.
You know what? Now, hold on. So let me pull this list up over here. I've been playing stuff on my list. I haven't seemed to be having any problem with it. It does make me a little paranoid. I ain't gonna lie. Playlist. Oh wait, you know what we might play? Wait a minute. UPR and clips. Is this what I'm looking for? Let's go look and see if there's something here. A California bite your balls.
I think I got something. Something we haven't seen. How about this? Let's do this. This looks funny. As soon as this ad ends, come on. So this would be one of those funny Star Trekky things that we play that we haven't gotten in trouble with before. Here we go. This is, but the Borg are Australian. Oh.
On screen. I've got control of the
Right, is this on? We're on, mate. Yeah, this is the Borg, and you're in big trouble, mate. Have you any idea who we are?
Read him the script.
What?
The script, the standard script. I've told you
I
this.
don't know the standard script.
Fuck's sake, Baz. You're lucky I printed it. Sammy, have you got the printout?
Yes, David, I have two copies.
Printout?
Who still uses a printer?
I still use a printer.
I told you before, Davo, this is Nicholas Q.
You're a Nicholas
We are
Q.
trying to improve our image. You know corporate is big on ESG right now, and we don't need to be printing shit. Sorry, Baz, I'll throw it out. No, don't throw it out. Recycle it. Yes, Baz. All right.
Yeah,
all right,
recycle it, man.
All right. We are the Borg.
You already said that bit.
Lower your shields and surrender your ship. Resisting is futile.
Resistance.
We are going to add your biology and technologically
Oh,
distinction.
seriously,
Miss Davo, could you have picked any bigger fucking words? Who wrote this?
Bloody hard. Over it this morning. If you'd attended the meeting, you'd know.
Who schedules 9 a.m. meetings on a Friday?
You have committed acts of aggression against the United Federation of Planets. If you do not withdraw,
Now you listen here, chump. You are in no position to start threatening us, okay?
Tell him that.
You have picked the wrong Borg to...
what the hell do they want with you?
Did he just cut us off?
I think he did, Baz. What a wanker.
Right, that's it. We're going over there.
Is
Hello,
that you?
boys and girls. Check this one out. Got a new can opener on me right arm. Ah, you got me in the hip, you Davo. Watch out, mate. Stop that. I shot Sammy. Sammy. You shot me in the back, you fucking coward.
Right, I'll just stand here like a stunned elephant.
Good. Now stay that way.
Yeah, settle down, Goggles. You know I'm missing the footy game because of you. Either let me go or chuck it on the big screen.
Let's look around
Check it
now.
out, bitch.
You're hardly in a position to make any demands.
If I miss the game, we will make you regret this.
Who's we?
Me, Baz, and Davo.
Yeah, but there's only one of you.
Yeah, but I'm pretty fired up right now, you know?
This is for you. It regulates the power flow to the frequency that you're used to.
I have no bloody idea what that means.
You're welcome.
When we found you, you were dying.
Ah, bullshit.
I saved your life.
What, this Sheila saved my life? Is that right, Goggles?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God, don't tell the boys. I'll never live this down. Can we put the footy on now?
Yes, but before that happens, could we ask you a few questions?
Yeah, but I'm only explaining this once. 6 points if it goes through the big sticks, 1 point if you miss. Don't ask me to explain holding the ball, because no one knows, not even the umpires. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, come on. Get him, get him. Go, Rainer. Go. Oh, bullshit umpire. Come on, who's on him? Don't let him. Come on, lift, fellas. You can't get a kick. Go, tackle him,
Status.
tackle him.
It seemed to make a visual survey of the engine course, sir. Then it moved
Hey,
in
shit,
here.
Bailey Smith. Go, Lions. Woo.
And I will resist you with my last ounce of strength.
You can try, but we're not actually interested in you. You see, when Davo was on board your ship, you know, just after he got shot in the bloody hip, he noticed something about your computer. There's something you're hiding, isn't there, Jono? We think you've got AI, Australian intelligence, and we're going to extract your little Aussie computer and assimilate it into our collective where it belongs.
Impossible.
Not impossible at all. Quite easily, actually. You just hand it over. Or else.
We would rather die.
If you feel that strongly, we'll give you 5 minutes while we take a smoko. Don't screw this up, Jono.
Captain, the Borg are in pursuit. On screen.
Did you really be coming for me, Jono? Look out, buddy. We'll be there, mate.
5.
here we go. Hey, Davo, did you feel anything? No, Baz, didn't feel a thing.
Yeah, no effect.
All right, let's climb up there, Clucker. Take that, Jono. Not bad.
Shield effectiveness has been reduced 12%. Our computer may also be vulnerable.
Boy, I am not vulnerable. But, Captain, maybe it'd be easier if you just handed me over.
No!
You call that a photon? This is a photon.
Captain, we've just lost the warp engines.
John Luke, we're dead in the water. Let me talk to them. I can handle this.
Enterprise, it's time to surrender. Hand over the computer.
Over my dead motherboard. You have picked the wrong computer to mess with.
Is that right? Mate, have you seen the size of our ship?
Yeah, I have actually. What you pulling there? Must be over 3 billion metric tons of cube.
Yeah, more like 4 billion, actually. Plenty enough to pulverize you lot.
Yeah, right. So I'm guessing you boys would probably know that in this part of space, anything over 1 billion tons requires a special permit.
What?
A heavy vehicle permit. I'm sure you guys know.
Davo, do we need a permit here? Print it out. Some fucking paperwork. Yeah, of course we have a permit. Yeah, everyone knows we need a permit around here.
Funny you say that, because I just checked with the local council and there's no approved permit attached to your rego.
Council? What council?
Logan City Council.
Oh,
Shit,
no.
mate. They're still after us about the burnouts we did in the Bunnings car
Shut
park.
up about the burnouts. Enterprise computer. You cannot intimidate us with these bureaucratic games. Won't matter when we've turned your ship to dust.
Yeah, no, you're too late, boys. I already lodged an unauthorized heavy vehicle complaint form with the Logan City online portal.
You did.
Got the confirmation email and everything. Says they'll respond within 1 to 43 business days. And you better hope it's 43.
Davo, we need to go.
Fucking oath.
Enterprise,
on our
look,
back.
we're sorry about all this. We took a dodgy turn back near the neutral zone, so we're just going to chuck a Yui and head back to the Delta Quadrant. Let's get out
Yeah,
of
you
here.
do that. Fine, fellas.
Yes?
You better hope I don't bump into you again, or I'll turn that cube of yours into a fucking lamington.
Okay, let's bloody get out of here. Bang it, Sammy. Bang.
I'll play some promos. Okay, let me get some promos on here.
Okie doke.
We'll do this one.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, welcome back everybody to the chat. I'm glad you're back, Heidi. I hope you didn't drown your plants. You know, I hope you didn't. But I don't know. I just want to mention that my show tomorrow night on Into the Night is an open discussion. Is an open discussion meeting show tomorrow, and whatever topic we want to bring up. But I tell you what, I had one of the best and worst experience on the suicide bridge up in Gettysburg. Okay.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to get into it because I would like you to tune in tomorrow night at 8:10 p.m. Eastern time to check out my little adventures up in Gettysburg too, you know, when I did the haunted stuff. So I have a lot of good stories to tell everybody. So you have to tune in tomorrow night. And I'm really looking forward to it. Our boss Joe here must be eating something because, you know, Jay, how are you doing? What's going on with you, man?
Oh, so far so good. Hopefully all of this kidney stone stuff is gone for the rest of, hopefully forever. But I gotta go and see my doctor again, and then I have to set up some appointments for a pulmonologist. I hope I don't have to go see too many more doctors. I've had enough. This last 6 months have really sucked with these kidney stones. So
I know the feeling, Jay.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Yeah. So they did find another spot on my lung, Jay. You know, so they're gonna take every 6 months and they're gonna do a PET scan on it to see if it grows or not.
Okay.
You know,
Make sure
because I really believe that a couple reasons why I've been sick for a long time now is because, you know, we got the jab, you know, and it's just ridiculous. I got less than a year, then I can retire, you know, and I want to feel better when I retire. Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah.
You know, I want to feel good. I want all this crap done, man. You know, so it's like, but you know, when they told me about this yesterday, I was like, okay, so I got this mark and this little spot on my lung again. But this time it's like right smack in the middle of my lung. So, you know, it like kind of confuses the doctors. I believe that I've been probed by aliens, and I believe that also could be an alien mark that could be on my lung. I'm not sure. But you know what? I'm okay with this. You know, I went through it before. I'll be not happy, but I'm just going to have to do it again. You know, I just want to be better, Jay. That jab really destroyed me. And
I've spoken to almost all of my friends who've gotten any of the COVID jabs, and I don't know. I think they all got the popular ones, not the Johnson & Johnson one, which I think was the one that nobody really got sick off of, but the other two everyone did. One of my friends, I have a boarder. His parents are friends of mine. all of them got the jabs, and all of them have repeatedly re-gotten the COVID virus. What good is the jab if you're going to get the virus 3 times? So, yeah, you're not the only one out there. I think there's
I know that,
there's
man.
lawsuits coming out. There's got to
I
be
know
some
that.
lawsuits coming out. Yeah.
So whatever, did they ever find Fauci? Is he under a gag order, or is he just like hiding somewhere overseas?
I'm not sure what his location is, but from what I understand is he is and was aware of the fact that it was a Hunan biological attack, and it was an attack. It wasn't an accident. But they're also convinced that he was pardoned 28 minutes before Trump was inaugurated by Joe Biden's auto pen.
Yeah, but then Heidi says that her dad got one and has never been sick. I refuse to get it. I don't blame you at all, Heidi. I don't.
Check with him. Did he get the Johnson & Johnson shot?
I mean, seriously, because I think, about the auto pen, let's get back to the auto pen. Did they say that none of those things that were done by the auto pen are legit?
If President Biden wasn't physically there while the auto pen was being operated with his signature, then they are invalid documents.
Okay, so that means Fauci is not off the hook then, right?
Probably he's not off the hook. His and all the other, almost all of the late hour, and I think there was a lot of 160 something pardons by auto pen at the 9th hour, as they call it, or the nth hour. They're probably all invalid. If Biden wasn't there, it wasn't authorized to be used. He has to actually be there.
Heidi says that she don't know for sure about her father, which one he got. I know.
Yeah,
for me,
I'll bet you he'll say it's the Johnson & Johnson one. The other two, almost everybody got sick off of.
I'm not going to say the ones that I got because we'll get in trouble, and I don't want to do that. But I know is that I had to take it for my work. Okay, if I refused to take it, then I would have been let go of my job.
That my entire store tried that. I think the entire, but the Home Depot corporate wanted to try to do that across all the stores and distribution centers. And our bosses asked us at the store, and I said, "I'll quit. You can have the job. I'm not getting that nonsense. You force me to get that, I will quit. Bye." The whole store would have done that. Even managers and supervisors, like, no, thank you. You can't force us to do something like that.
And Heidi says mandatory. Yes, I know several that had to get one. Yeah, but I had to get
a lot
two,
of the medical community for sure.
Yeah, I had to get 2 of them. I had to get 2. Hey, Carrie, good to see you. But
food workers, had to. Yeah, I gotta fix this kitty cat. She's falling off the back of my chair.
But you know what? What was crazy was how we were open during, all this shit that was going on. And I was an essential worker, and we never got compensated.
Here's a messed up thing. This is the COVID results. So I at the time I was working at the Home Depot. I'd been there 7-8 years or whatever, 9 years, long time. The company gave us, if we worked a full 40 hours, an extra $100. Whoop-de-doo. I was getting paid after taxes. If they paid me daily, it would be like $190 a day. Whoop-de-doo. You give me $100 every 2 weeks? Wow. Big spenders, huh? We had, in this area, we have these 2 stores, of them, Sheets and Rudders. They're little gas station convenience stores that make their own food. They all have the same exact food, basically. The They offered their employees $3 extra an hour while they were working during the COVID, quarantines. Then these companies, the Rudder, I don't know about Sheets, the Rudders company at that time in 2020, they were they spanned, I think, 5 states and 2,500 employees and like 517 stores, something like that. Home Depot at that same time, 2 or 3 million employees, 3,000, almost 3,000, 2,599, I think, was the number of stores just in the United States, not counting Canada and Mexico, which is like 3 compared to the rest of Canada. Is probably more like 100 or so. But we're a huge conglomerate company. We made our first $1 billion during the COVID thing. They gave us $100 extra for 2 weeks. These 2 small mom and pop companies, and there's some grocery stores do the same thing. Got Kroger, Safeway, and 1 or 2 other large name grocery store chains gave their employees $2 extra an hour while they were working during quarantine conditions. We got an extra $100 for every 2 weeks.
I didn't get shit.
That's bullshit. Why not why not just slap me in the face? People making $5-6 less an hour than me in a convenience store retail location were making about exactly as much as I was. We didn't get any kind of extra. I mean, it was just ridiculous. A company that small could afford that, yet companies big as Home Depot couldn't.
Yeah,
it was a slap in the face. It really was. It was disgusting. It really was kind of just what the hell,
I know, man. I mean, Heidi says that Safeway was 2 blocks from my dad's, where I was staying at the time.
Those employees were getting paid $2, at least $2 more an hour during COVID 2020, quarantine era. And it was across board. I mean, Walmart employees were getting, I think, an extra $1 an hour, $1.50. What, they weren't getting a lot, but they were getting more. And we got $100 for 2 weeks.
It was just a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, Carrie, we're talking 2020 bullshit again because stuff has come up and I need to vent. I need to vent about it because I'm about to retire in less than a year and I'm going to be healthy. I want to be healthy when I retire. So I can go.
Plus, they said, you two better tighten up, buddy.
Did she really? Joe, did she?
Yeah, she said, you two better tighten up. She's got her eye on you and you.
What did we do wrong?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. It's I had to take a call right as we went to break. No, I was talking to her legitimately, but she's doing other stuff. She's telling me about some stupid ads on we get. I guess some of the hosts put those commercials at the bottom of the page. There's a thing where they give you $10 if you somebody clicks on the ad, you'll get paid or something.
Yeah.
She just I don't. I mean, they look kind of funky down there, kind of with her on. They don't look real professional. So.
Remember those days, Tweaker hour at Wally World. Yeah. I'm sorry I had to bring it up. No, I'm not sorry because I got sick again and I'm tired of it, Jay. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, wow.
I want to be healthy when I retire in less than a year. I want to be healthy.
I'm with you on that too. Well, so your doctors seem to be paying attention and catching stuff, so that's a plus.
Yes.
So anything right now should be pretty easily handled, and if it hasn't spread real much when it comes time, if it's grown a little bit, they'll go ahead and take it, and maybe even treat it. But if it's just barely, they might still take it, but not do anything to it. It just depends on these next 6 months, and if how much it grows, if it grows, or how much it grows. But right now, where it's at, it would be considered stage 1. So lung cancer stage 1 is like 95% curable. So I'm not.
Well,
I'm not so much worried about that.
yeah, the
As
only
long
way
as they
they
catch it. Yeah.
they did catch it, but they took out two of them. They took out half a lung on me, Joe. They took a half a lung out. And
Now, did they take the nose? They took the lung, or they took
they
the,
took the whole half a lung.
Damn.
Yeah. They took the half a lung.
Well, tell them why didn't they fucking replace it,
What am I gonna do? I am so damn good looking. You know, I want to be healthy for when I turn 65. Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah.
You know
This,
what I mean?
I'm pretty sure they'll knock this out pretty easy.
Oh.
And now that they got that Target stuff. Oh, and they got okay, so there's a couple of new things out, which I don't know. This doesn't sound like it's bad enough for them to try any of these new things. But so, oh, and by the way, that new GLP, you know, the stuff, the weight loss drug that helps you quit eating and get off addictions and stuff.
GLP-1s, yeah.
Yeah, it actually prevents 4 types of cancer.
Really?
It's like the fucking miracle drug. It's like aspirin. When people used to call aspirin the miracle drug because it did so much. This fucking thing does everything. It takes care of diabetes. It's good for your heart. It helps out high blood pressure. It helps with your memory. It helps you quit wanting to eat and drink and smoke. I mean, and now it helps prevent cancer. I mean, what the fuck? It's a seriously good drug. It's how often do we see that? Because most of the time you see a drug and all you hear is like these antibiotics they just put on. These things sound like I didn't even want to take them after reading the side effect, the possible side effects.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Like, fuck, man.
You know, Carrie, I did do a detox one time and nothing happened. Nothing happened with my detox for the parasites and shit. I'm like, no. And I'm just like, it's my luck, Carrie. I have shitty luck is my deal. Now, I know I sound like a Debbie Downer or a Shawnee Downer, but I'm just expressing I need to vent about this. And it fucking was what I'm supposed to do. And I know I can vent on this show because we talk about everything and anything. And it's on, what is it, NCR 17 or something like that?
17. No, this motherfucker's like double, triple R rated with a little thing that the little tiny X at the bottom circle just in the case that Jay may whoop out some video or something.
Mind over matter, Sean Carey. It don't work for me because there's a freaking mark on my lung now. Yeah, and I can't do a mind over matter on that.
Well, yeah, actually, you can. So I've had friends and I've had contactees cure themselves from cancer through thought. Actually, Janine said it was like she burnt away the cancer herself. That's how she described it. She said she remembered having a dream. She had lung cancer. She had a nodule like A big around. They figured she was in deep trouble. And she said she remembers the dream. And she just remembers picturing the cancer and seeing it like burning and melting. Just calling fire and puffing was gone. And she noticed the next morning where it was hurting. She was sore, but it wasn't like hurting from the cancer. So she knew she was going to see her doctor in a couple of days. She went to see him and it was gone. He said it did look like though something had cauterized the wound, but it was. And then there's been other cases like that, but then it takes a lot of willpower. It's when I was young, I could do a lot of stuff. When I got older, my fuse got a little tainted. Oh no, Gene. Right now, I'm dealing with 2 months ago. I started having stomach problems. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I haven't had an upper yet, so I've had X-rays and other stuff. The X-rays came back good. The blood work came back good. Well, you really need for cancer. You really need the upper. The X-ray helps. I mean, it gives you a good idea. There's nothing massive. You still need the upper to see all the little cracks and crannies and stuff. Well, no, I had in my last colonoscopy, I had a 25 millimeter ballot. It's like, you're right. Doctor flipped out because it went cancer. He left it. Matter of fact, I gave him shit because he put a tattoo in there. I said, I don't want no tattoos on my body. I don't believe in tattoos. He's like, well, too late now. He had a tattoo on your asshole. I was like, Doug. That is so wrong at so many levels, man.
Speaking of tattoos, man, I got to tell you, when this dude was so sick, he was in E6 for about 20 years in the Navy, right? He was an alcoholic, and he just could not move up in rank, right? So he had so many damn tattoos on him, right? So here's his best one he ever had. He had a tattoo of a robin on one of his right cheek of his butt, pulling a worm out of his crack. No shit, man. That's funny. Honest
That's
to God.
funny.
Yeah. Those are the days.
You know what works really good is it's a vibrating massage. It's a hot oil vibrating massage. Not like your feet or your hands. It's a whole body kind.
I'm glad it's working for you, Carrie. I really am. I am. I pray for you, Carrie.
Because Carrie's a little angel. She ain't a demon like some other people we know. What's that?
I will pray
Michelle?
for you, Carrie.
No, I was talking to her.
You were talking to Michelle, and me and Jay are talking about the jab.
Yeah,
I'm
I was talking
sure
to the boss lady.
Yeah.
Well, first I was talking to John because I had to tell John something about it, something else, and then I was talking to Michelle.
Are we allowed to talk about that now, Joe?
What?
The jab.
I don't see why not. I mean, it depends what you say, but I don't really see why not. I mean, it's not. You can't, because nobody thinks it's fake anymore. When you see in the old days, you get in trouble when you'd say, "Oh, well, no, it wasn't from the Wuhan lab. It was from the animals." Now you get in trouble if you say it's from the animals and not from the Wuhan lab. So, well, because nobody with a fucking ounce of sense thought that the virus that they were working on in the Wuhan lab that got affected around the world came from Wuhan lab, because we all know it did. It was there. It didn't have to create itself out with a bat shitting on a dog's head. Or a chicken's head, whoever's head it was. The two poops mixed together and it created the virus. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah. That's bullshit. That virus came from that lab. Besides that, most scientists agree it looked like they'd been modified ahead of time. So
it definitely has markers that it was modified chemically. So yeah, it's not a natural occurring device.
Heidi says, any thoughts on medical issues and living around different energies or frequencies?
Well,
I asked a similar question above.
If you live around high tension wires, it can wreak havoc on your nervous system, on your muscle system, on your brain system. And the closer you are to the power lines, the more damage they can do. A lot of people are sensitive. Okay, Jesse, high tension power lines are not coated. They're just raw metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not coated, no. Well, you want to know why? Because the
high voltage power hubs. Yes.
Weight, and it also adds friction to the electrical.
Yeah, it does. It causes
energy passing through the wire, so it kind of causes heat. Yeah.
Because this ain't 110 volts or 220 volts we're talking about here, Bruce. No. This is big power. Well, the substation.
We live directly underneath of those high tension wires, so I know exactly. We rode our bikes underneath them in the woods for decades.
Well, there's a thing that says they cause kidney stones, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if they say that.
It's
Heidi came back and said, spirits, ghosts, elementals, those type of energies, ? It's okay if I'm not meant to know. LOL, I'll wait.
No, on energies like that, first it's got to be something that exists. And secondly, it's all about how it exists. Is it dark? Is it light? Or is it mischievous, fun? Is it something in between? It's all in the relationship that you have with the energy itself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. It personally, me, I don't believe it's from a ghost. I believe because all my investigations that I did, that we were under those power lines over houses, you could just feel the energy coming from them damn wires. Oh my God, it was terrible. We did an investigation one night. This is true, and the reason why we were called there, the son would sleep on the floor. They had their mattress on the floor, and he would wake up and he'd have burn marks on his arms. Okay, and so we were there, and we first thing what we did, one thing we did was we went down and we checked the fuse boxes. Come to find out that that house or that apartment, the building it was in, was the old knob and tubing. Okay, that type of wiring. And for some reason, there was so much energy coming from, because his arm was right by the plug, the outlet. That's what caused his rash. That's what caused his burn mark on his arm. You know, it wasn't ghosty. It wasn't spiritually. It was due to the fact that he slept near the freaking outlet, and that the energy coming from that outlet burned up and down his arm.
I get it.
Yeah. Carrie, to your question about the foot bath, there's one by Home Medics, I think. I don't know if it's ionic, but it has an infrared thing in the middle between the two foot wells, and then above that there's a device that has a different attachments like a brush, a pumice, and like a bumpy massage thing that when you step on it, it spins. And the infrared part, it heats up. I mean, it's like hot. You could cook an egg on it, but when you put your foot on it, it takes a while to get used to it. But it actually, yeah, that's Natasha. She's been sitting there for a while.
She's a retard.
The infrared actually helps the bottom of your feet. So, yeah, she's kind of a goofy kitty. She kept falling off and falling behind. That's why I was sitting like this, because she kept falling off in between.
Yeah, I seen her. She just flipped her ass upside down a minute ago.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go see another guy about another horse.
Seriously, Denise, I give it kind of massage. Forget who you are. Take you 2 days to remember your name. Because I'm just gifted that way. You know what's good about an empath giving someone a massage? You know what it is? Because an empath can sense your emotions and feel as
yes.
So they can
You're welcome, Terry.
They can trace your emotion along through your body as it runs, so they can feel what these impressed are and the right amount of tension. It's a cheap way, but it's really good. Well, it's like, if you're a legit empath and you're sleeping with a legit empath, you're having the kind of sex that most people will never get to experience in their life, because it's not just the pleasure that comes from your drive yourself with your partner. You can experience theirs with yours. So it's like 2 for 1. It's like a double play.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. And that's another thing. By knowing, or I should say, feeling what your partner's feeling, you know how to stimulate in the right places. And well, no, I said earlier this show had a little X circle around it.
Whatever.
This isn't an adult show. Everybody listens to shows.
What you just said, dude, is so correct, man. It's right on the money.
Well, and that's the thing. If you are a real empath, you'll know what I'm saying. Sure, if you're not, then you haven't experienced it, you won't know. But a real empath can share with a non-empath to an extent. Yes. It can't be 100%. They can't.
Yeah, but you know what? A real empath has a hard time dealing with somebody who isn't an empath.
Yep, that is true.
There's a lot. I've had many bad run-ins with that. Many.
I just usually look at them and think, "Go away." They just leave.
Some I have.
Just go away. Leave me alone. What you doing, Lola? Fiona. Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. I'm going to run this question by everybody in the chat room too, even with the other girls. If you're an empath, do you think spirit is protecting you from people who are not empathic? Because just want to know. Please give me your feedback.
I think no. I think the damn spirit cares that much. I mean, whatever, you stupid humans.
That's not a stupid question.
You need to go listen to this lady that was on my show today, Sean. You'll love this chick. It's I can tell you I got some things in common. except for crazy UFOs. And it's not crazy. I mean, it's actually just legit. But yeah, that was just being up. But she's really nice, and she's well informed. She's got a lot of knowledge there.
Did what?
Well, it's like any ufologist or any beginner. I've been in the field for 45 years. I see things a little bit differently and a little bit clearer because we've been through a lot of what she's going through right now. And things she's learning that she thinks is absolute gospel, but it's not. Well, she was talking about Bob Lazar's new movie. And
S4, yeah.
How they proved that he was that he worked at whatchamacallit and that all his friends are all legit. It's not true, by the way. But the movie might say it, but it's not true. I just for shits and giggles when I heard it, I made a call. No, still listen to it. He's always listening. So that's out. And you know what bothers me about that is that if I can find it out, anybody with a decent clearance can find it out. It's
all right, Heidi. The question was, if you're an empath, does spirit sometimes protect you from people who are not empathic? That's the question. Bob Lazar, was he the dude that's bald head and wears glasses?
He wears glasses, but he's not bald now.
He's not bald headed.
No. Who's the bald headed dude?
Just a lot of bald headed. You have to go more than that.
No, he's really big with UFOs and aliens.
There's a lot of
bald headed guys.
Rogan.
He goes on Rogan's show a lot.
I don't watch Rogan enough to that. Only catch
come
Rogan
on,
shorts.
Sean. What's his freaking name? He's always on talking about UFOs and aliens. He worked for the government? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
It's a Vasquez guy. A house record.
Okay, thank you, Heidi.
Did these aliens love us?
What the hell's his name?
They don't like to eat guys over 60. Though they say they're stringy.
That's good. I'm safe. All right, Heidi, Carrie, I'm pulling a card for you guys. I'm gonna pull a card for them.
Well, Sean's playing with himself over there. Let's see what's going on over here.
I'm pulling a card, guys, ladies, and ooh, this fits right down by Joe. I pulled the alligator card. The alligator card. Look at that.
Oh, yeah,
that was a Joe card.
That's
Marty, can you look that up? An alligator card? The alligator. That's the first time I pulled that, man. That's a Joe card from New Orleans, Mississippi. Being an empath, you still have to activate your spirit to protect. It's an awareness. All right, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, Carrie, I pulled the alligator card. You know, that's right up Joe's alley. That'd be crazy if I pulled another one.
Wait, what you been doing, chick? Where you been hiding?
It'd be funny if the next
I have not seen Disclosure yet. No, I haven't seen it yet, man. I don't know if I'm going to see it.
I think it's $25 to get it on. It's on Prime, I think, and I think it's $25.
No, Joe. No, Joe, are you reptilian?
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
That's Carrie asking you.
And I told her that I'd have to kill her too.
No, Heidi says the alligator symbolizes ancient wisdom, protection, and primal instincts. That is definitely Joe in a nutshell.
Yeah, let's stick my boot in your ass.
It's $14.99 to buy it, $9.99 to rent. The Age of Disclosure, if you want to look at it.
So anybody who don't want to hear this, would be a good time to close your ears. So the other day, I'm watching the guy review Disclosure. So now I've talked to about a dozen people who have seen this movie, and it's about 50-50 on how they feel. I noticed a very liberal ufologists love it. I noticed other people hate it. So I couldn't figure out why. So I'm listening to this guy go through. So he said, You watch the whole movie. It's all about getting to disclosure. It's not disclosure, it's just getting there. Then you get to disclosure, and then the movie's over.
Wow, that would suck.
And that's what he said. It sucked. He said that
Wow,
it just ended.
They also, if anyone's having trouble with disclosure, if you do actually want to watch the movie, there's an actual companion guide book for the movie.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
Let's see how much money we get the suckers for.
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm a great Stephen Greer?
That's him. That's him. Stephen Greer. Stephen Greer.
What about the Ferry Boy?
The what?
The Ferry Boy. What about it?
I'm just wondering who he was, what the name was.
Well, he is a retired New York surgeon. He didn't see, everybody always said he worked at New York General, but he didn't actually. Come to find out, that was a whole wives' tale. And his career is very sketchy when you look him up. But somehow
he did work in hospitals, though, for sure. That much we know.
He did, and he's worth what, $14 million?
Yeah, but I don't think he was worth that before going into ufology. He was an ER
let's
doctor.
put it this way: making $14 million in ufology is got to be unheard of in any shape, form, or fashion.
Well, he did it with those meditation walks he does. You know, the UFO. Yeah. Come and hang out in the woods for a weekend for $5,000, and maybe you'll see a UFO, and maybe you won't.
So there was a couple of things that turned me on. One, he called me, and then his people called me about getting on UFO Undercover. So I think Gia was booking it. No, Linda was booking it at the time. So I told her, and she set it all up. And then he sends us a thing wanting $5,000. I was like, dude, you asked me to put you on my show. I should be fucking charging you.
Yeah.
I said, you're not helping my show. And I said, you're crazy man says 56 types of aliens are roaming around the planet. I said, and he said something else. I said, I don't know. No, we don't pay guests. That's
you're welcome, sir.
So anyways, I didn't think nothing about it. And then I ran into him in DC, and he's like, oh man, we need to do this together. We need to do this together, but we're gonna both have to put up $5,000 for my dough. So then while I'm there, just a friend of mine, Treese was part of the movement where they thought that alien abductions were demonic possession, and that she had undergone them trying to remove it. And she had heard me speaking somewhere, and she wanted to know if it was probably still there. I said, yeah, they're not going to be, because somebody said Jesus said get out. I said, that's not going to happen. But if you want, I said, I'll arrange hypnosis for you from someone independent. And
I just want to put this one.
But anyway, she comes up and tells me about the UFO people and all this was going on. And then she tells me, because, she had a little bit of money. She said, oh, no, I went out on Greer's spiritual retreat the other night, and it told me how much it cost. I was like, what? And I said, well, so did you meet E.T.? Oh, no, it was spiritual. We just felt E.T. I said, how much did you fucking pay to feel E.T.? I was pissed after that. I was just pissed. And she's a very intelligent woman, but she's a very book smart woman. She's not a street smart woman. And when I was talking to her, she introduced me to some of the people there. I noticed they were all like that. They were all very intelligent people, but they weren't really intelligent when it came to the ways of the world. So, on that particular night, I think it was, what was it? $72,000 he made for 3 hours in the dark. Saying E.T. is surrounding you spiritually. Oh, we're in touch with their extraterrestrial president.
Yeah, it just brought me up. Oh my God. Have you ever heard of the Hathors?
Yes. Yeah, well, Hathor is the cow goddess of Egypt, goddess of childbirth and fertility.
I've heard of the ones that shot the Hatfields.
Yeah, no, that's a different one. Yeah, no, the Hathors and the Hathors are they're
two different things.
Heidi and Carrie were talking about them in the chat room there.
Are they interdimensional light beings? Do they claim?
Hathor is an Anunnaki. If we suspect the Anunnaki are the ones who started the religious pantheons, starting with the Sumerians and moving to the Akkadian, Babylonian, Egyptian, and so on and so forth.
Joe, what's wrong with your puppy?
She's hanging out with us.
Hey, Joe's puppers is on his lap. Look at that.
Oh yeah, well she's got to go to bed though. Yeah, she got an overswollen.
My cat bailed already.
Hey, well, Joe, do you feed your little puppers their hot dogs or something like filet mignon?
No, they eat good. No, she got a couple of weeks ago. One of her boobs just swelled and about halfway, and then the other day when she went to eat it double, that's almost dragging. So saying, doesn't feel like anything at all. Just feel like food, but still.
Audrey
checked.
Heidi said that her granddaughter's ears perked up when she heard Anunnaki. Interesting.
Yeah, Anunnaki, or like, so if you look at the different gods of the Sumerian mythos, and they're not really gods, more as much as space travelers. Their names are all weird, but then they change to when they assume the identities of the pantheon of each new civilization as it takes over. So you can see them. They're Zeus is Jupiter, is Hades is the other. They all have different names in the different pantheons, but it's all the same dude or the same woman throughout history.
Wow. Oh, Audrey's so cute. Please, Heidi, tell Audrey I said hello tonight. I'd appreciate it. She says she knows about them. That's cool. What's your dog's name? What's her name?
Kill.
Come. Oh.
Tell him, don't you mess with me. I may be little, but I'll chomp your toe right off. You will bleed out, bitch. Tell him he got it.
You gonna bite my toes off, girl? Huh?
No, she ain't gonna do shit right now because I'm scratching her chest. She's snoring. Or she's grunting. I'm sorry. If this one of these dogs in my house starts grunting, the other one comes here, they come running immediately because they know somebody's getting attention. But no, she got to go to bed next week. She'd be good to curl. Who's pregnant? Heidi, you're pregnant. What?
Heidi, you pregnant?
I didn't know.
Well, Joe said you were pregnant, Heidi.
That demon over there said she was pregnant. It's a red dragon demon says Heidi's pregnant. Holy moly, Heidi.
Oh my hell! I can see her putting in her phone. Oh my hell! She goes. Heidi says, "Hell no." I thought you were going to put. Oh my hell!
You and Jerry could do like split parenthood or something.
Whose idea is that, Joe?
What idea? I don't know what you're talking about.
About her being pregnant.
That's the demon said she was pregnant.
The demon that was in his hand.
The demon Messiah said you're pregnant. The demon Messiah said you're pregnant. The red dragon demon, yeah.
The red dragon demon.
Yeah. See. Jackie. Jenny's nuts. Oh shit! I'm sorry, Peter. I was reading a comment that somebody posted in the chat. The end of the world as we know. No, it's still 85 seconds. Actually, now it's calming down. So, okay, wait. Let's fix some things. So Trump's into 9 wars now. If Iran holds, it's going to be 10 wars that he's going to end. No human on this planet has ever ended even 8 wars before, much less 10. And it looks like Russia may have to surrender or use a nuke. I'm not sure which way this is going to go.
Yeah, it's looking pretty over there. I mean, what did they say? How many did they launch the other day? 600.
They did it again today. Yeah, they did it again today.
The same amount, 660 drones.
They're just out of control. No, Jimmy,
So what
has lost his marbles is what's going on.
Yeah, what is he doing? Are they producing? Is like their factory able to produce 660 drones per day? And they arm them up and load them up and shoot them the next day.
Yeah, everybody gave him a bunch of money, including us, and then So now they've got drone facilities now, and they've really mastered making their own drones and
Guess so.
developing their own drones. Drones are cheap and easy to make.
Well, I guess the next big Amazon craze is going to be Ukrainian, civilian drones that you buy because the war's over, and that's how Ukraine makes its money now.
I wouldn't doubt it either. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
No, Jack. So there's a lot of ifs going on here. If Russia was to use a nuke at Kiev, I'm not sure how this would go down.
It's going to bring the entire community.
So technically,
in on it.
Technically, the UN would have to immediately go to council, but we wouldn't let our president go there if Russia had just launched a nuke against a country. We're not going to take the fact that he wouldn't launch a nuke on the UN and kill all the leaders. To hell with that.
Yeah.
So that would have to be a conference call, which they would just hack anyway. So, no, America would not launch a nuke against Russia. So right now, the current wave in this country, current feeling in this country, and the current political environment in this country thinks Europe should deal with this shit, not us. We don't think the Ukraine is our problem. We think we deal with the new world, they deal with the old world. I'm all for pulling all our shit out of Europe and bringing it home. Do you realize that the United States would give up its obligations in Europe and the UN? It's $3.6 trillion a year, we'd say. Yeah, everybody get a nice little check, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it's for 340 million. So ask Google what 240 million. Ask it to divide 3.5 trillion with 240 million.
Hey, Google, divide 3.5 trillion by 240 million.
The result is about 14,600.
There you go.
$14,000 per person.
Yeah, every $14,000 per person. Every year, though, people. Every year. Well, I'm getting feedback, Jay. What's up? Or somebody. It'd be every year. So just think of it this way: at $3 trillion a year savings, or 3.5 trillion, we could pay off the national deficit in 10 years completely and be out of debt, which would also bring money back to us in several ways. The negatives of leaving there is not that big of a deal. Russia's not going to attack us, and neither is China. The only downside for us is if they were to invade Europe and take it. Then we would have to consider,
or if they were to team up and gang bang us from the right and the left, a double Socko punch. From
no, see, I would think they would try that, but they both know we have 5,000 nukes, and they already know we're the only country that's ever killed anybody with nukes. Guess what? We will do it again if we have to.
And we're not afraid to do it again, right?
No, we're not. So, especially with Trump. Trump would say, really? All of a sudden, Xi Jinping be sitting in his house, and you hear, ooh, boom, boom. Jack, them many kind of little ballistics come in so fast, it's gonna be hard to shoot them down. Them MIRVs are unbelievable. And when she breaks into 16 or 18 warheads and MIRV missiles, and they can direct themselves now, so they can move out of the way of incoming missiles.
This is the nature of the beast. ICBM stands for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, which means that it has a fuel source in it. And when it launches, it goes into outer space. Eventually, the fuel source goes away. It maneuvers itself back into the atmosphere where it is now ballistic. It's just basically a bullet, essentially, that's been fired out of a gun, even though no barrel was used. And at this point, it has no control. It's falling where it thinks it's supposed to go. And then it explodes about 1,000 feet above the ground. Boom. Everything dies. It's ballistic. It's a falling rock.
Yep.
It has no control.
Yeah, some of them can be falling at Mach 25 too.
Yeah, they're. I mean, it leaves the atmosphere, so it's traveling at what? At least 17,000 miles an hour, I think, is the break speed.
It arcs, John. Yeah, it goes into an arc, and then when it breaks the arc, at that point, it's already aimed into where it's headed, and it basically falls. Now, when the capsule opens up and the MIRVs come out, the MIRVs have little packs that can guide them. Not like big ones, but they can move themselves around to make sure they get to the back.
So they have control surfaces too. They can do some maneuvering, but it's not like
Yeah, it's not
They can't.
sophisticated. Just enough to make sure they get close enough to the target to do real.
Yeah, it's not doing a 180. Oh, oops, I missed my target. Whoop, let me turn around.
Well,
yeah,
well, Johnny, that all depends on how where the main missile opens. So if the main missile's off course, it's not going to matter that much. The other missiles will try to fight their way back to course, but they do have limited mobility. It's interesting to see how it works. I've seen it do that before. Yes, up close and off of a ship. So we were 16 miles from the blast, 17 miles from the blast. The ship listed sideways, or backwards is what I should say, because we were standing on the side, and the whole shift side just lifted and pushed up, and the wave knocked everybody on their ass. Not the water wave, the air wave knocked everybody on their ass. As a matter of fact, a couple people got nervous thinking it was radiation, which of course it wasn't. No. Well, no, actually, a friend of mine got all nervous because they thought they were doing this like they did the guys in the 50s when they put them out in the field in the fake towns and detonated nukes off the tower to see what the effects were going to be. Yeah, them guys died in horrible cancer deaths. No,
Oh, hell yeah, yeah.
Gee, you know, America.
Almost everybody involved with the Manhattan Project at some level or another was exposed to these radioactive materials, and many of them died of cancers and diseases you would get from being exposed to these radioactive devices.
Jack, Madam Curie died from radiation poisoning because they were working without equipment. They didn't know it was invisible. They didn't know.
They had no idea. Yeah. There's the one story. I think they do it in the Oppenheimer movie, and I forget the scientist's name, but one of the plutonium balls rolled off its perch on the lab table and started to head towards the floor, and the scientist reached out and grabbed it with his hand and put it back, and they didn't realize at that point what he had just done.
Dead.
He just radioactivated himself. Yeah,
he was dead.
I think he died a few weeks later, but yeah, he died.
Because Mike, he got irradiated. It's a horrible way to go.
Yeah.
No, they never told us why we were. That fucking Navy never tells you anything. They were like, well, I do remember one time when I was at boot camp, everybody's getting shots, and on the second day they're giving us their shots. You get in line, you get the air guns. And there's doctors all over with air guns in there. One of each arm.
Yep. They had mattresses. You had laid all around just in case. I remember that, Jeff. Honest to God, we got like 10 or 12 shots in one.
Oh yeah. So I know we had to go 3 days in a row. We got all kinds of, and what got me was I'm like, okay. So when we went out to see that, like, oh no, you got to get more shots. I mean, what the fuck do you mean you got to get more shots?
Malaria. Everywhere we went, we always had to get a malaria shot.
And malaria always gets you fucked up high when you give it to you. There was 2 shots they gave us in boot camp. I was so loaded afterwards. I was like, 3 days, man. I was like, cool. I'm off for 3 days.
Joe, no, this, you know how you get them sexual transmission diseases?
No,
STDs?
I do not. I've never had none of them.
You know what I'm just saying, I happened to got one time when I was a young whippersnapper, and they sent me in medical, and they brought out the penicillin, and they made me hold it in my hand to loosen that stuff up, to warm it up. No shit. And I was like, that went in like peanut butter, dude. I was in a lot of pain. Oh, taught me a lesson, huh?
Yeah.
Taught me a lesson.
So, Jesse, in the Navy, they actually have classes for this, courses. Sexual transmitted stuff. Sex is talked about a lot in boot camp because we're going to do a lot of ports. You meet a lot of people, and a lot of these girls you meet are professional girls who work the ports. Well, so we're in boot camp, right? 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I ain't seen a woman in 5 weeks. I'm thinking, wow. All of a sudden, I look over and I'm looking at the fence. These 2 girls can walk up to the fence. We're in San Diego, by the highway. They walk up, grab the fence. There was 4 companies out there. You seen 300 guys just go whoosh.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, and then you hear the commander go, "What the?" And he looks over. He goes, "All right, y'all perverts can look for a minute."
Well, I'll tell you what. I went to Great Lakes, Illinois for boot camp. I stepped off
you went
the
to
plane.
great mistakes, man.
Yes, it was. I stepped off the plane. It was 40 below zero, dude. That's no shit.
Yeah, that's what I call
It
the
was
great
40
mistakes. That's where
below
my
zero.
steps are.
Welcome to the Navy.
And I tell you what, we had a kid from Florida was in shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt, dude. And oh my God, at least they gave him a coat. Yeah. It was cold. Oh my God, it's the coldest place on earth.
Shit, I remember.
Great
I met
Lakes.
this guy. We when I was flying in from New Orleans, we stopped over somewhere. Met this guy. Pete. We got high as fuck. We smoked outside. We smoked in the airplane bathroom. We smoked shit. We actually went up in the plane smoking, and it's fucking real. And the guys like, you're not worried about getting trusted to one way. Can't. What the fuck they gonna do? Let's throw us out. Yeah, we can only hope. And I remember that got in. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting on the tarmac, and this guy's. And so we finally get in the barracks like 4. I lay my head down. Like, oh yeah, 4:15. Somebody's throwing garbage cans out in the middle of the fucking.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm 18 at the time. I don't think I'm gonna kill some motherfucker. Actually, I'm 17. No, I was thinking, really, I think I'm gonna get kill somebody. Now stand up. This big motherfucker's like, I'm like, oh hey, so how you doing, everybody? Nice to meet you.
4:15 in the morning. Oh, I remember that. I remember the very first day of boot, man. They woke us up so damn early. Oh my God, it was terrible. Terrible.
They're doing okay. You missed Natasha. She was here earlier.
Jenny, no, you believe it or not, you do a lot of sitting around in boot camp in the evening times, talking about your girlfriends, talking about your friends. They do stuff. I mean, sometimes they do stuff, and the first 4 weeks, it's all business. And well, no, you got so I was stationed in San Diego, which used to be an old prison, World War II prison. And anytime we had free time, they had this little can that had these little cotton wops. And you pull a piece off, and you know what you do with it? You'd start polishing. Oh, yeah. They had copper all over the place.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So we'd be just polishing the whole time.
Yep. They gave us patent leather shoes when we first got in.
Well, it's funny because when I got there, I got my regular core frames. And I spit shine them bitches up. They look nice. And then a friend of mine comes by with some core frames. And he goes, here. I'm like, what are these? He said, you don't ever have to shine them again. Just wipe them off. I'm like, what? And sure enough, you did. They looked great every time you put them on. I still kept them. You got more brownie points.
Oh, my God. I scrub. Oh, my God. Did I scrub them shoes, man? You had to take it off, and then you had to shine them. You had to literally see you literally need to see your face inside right on your shoe.
And those are everyday shoes you wear every day, too. So you knew they would be fucked up. Boot camp was interesting, Jesse. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I got high in boot camp. I got laid in boot camp. No, really. So I was always kind of a little bit on the ambitious side. It was like 4.5 weeks, and we had to go work the scullery, which is the kitchen. So we get in there, and my commander puts me in charge of the pots and pans, dishwashers and stuff. So I'm in there. It's noisy as fuck. I'm screaming. After like 4 days, I have no voice. It's like I'm sucking on lemons trying to get my voice back. So on the 5th day, I'm in there working, and this little girl walks up. She says, "Hey, you smoke weed?" I say, "I mean, once in a while." She pulls out a blunt about the size of my middle finger. I'm like, damn. I hadn't smoked in like a couple of months. Man, we smoked this joint. I got high as fuck. She goes, "Hey, we're gonna have some fun." And she took me into this oven, and she turned on the thing. So this is an oven that's about 2 stories tall, and it's got these racks that go up and down like this, like a rod. You put your bacon sheets on it, on a big. She turned it on. We got it. Did the wild thing on that. Hey, Pete, I had that booty all the time on the boot camp. I was awesome.
Welcome to the Navy.
But I will tell you this: by week 5 or 6, whatever they're putting in your food, you're not thinking about that anymore.
They put
Because they actually-
saltpeter in the food.
Yeah,
They
they
put
actually
saltpeter.
tell you when they let you out, when boot's over, and they let you go out and get into the real world. They actually tell you to wait a couple of days before you go out and immediately go having sex.
Yeah, they did put saltpeter. They did put saltpeter in the food.
Well, one of my friends I was boot camp with, his name was Pete Hilton, and he was part of Hilton family. And I remember we get out of boot camp. He said, "Oh, they gave me the presidential, the suite at the presidential, and my dad sent us some gifts and some friends." So we get there. There's like 44 hookers in it. There's food piled everywhere. They had these little pineapple cans laying around, old pineapple cans. I took my P90 out. Psst, psst, it was fucking marijuana. Psst, I mean, it was like Hawaiian Blue or Maui. I mean, you were like, oh, you need to smoke it to get high off. Somebody went around and opened like 8 cans to make it like a smell in the room. We stayed there for a week. And then
I would have stayed a while.
Well, what happened was Pete was bugging me, and it was out ready. They wanted to go down into Mexico and go along the Baja Peninsula down the thing. And we had 4 weeks to kill. So I said, and the first thing my commander said, "You know, you're not supposed to go down there." He said, "Well, you can go, just don't wear your uniforms.
Don't wear,
yeah.
Don't drink
They're
the
going to
water.
know you from there anyway because your haircut." He said, "But just." So we get in. We rented a black and gold, Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am. So we get to the border. We cross into the border. And fucking what's his face gets out the car. He's out in 10 minutes. Comes back with a bag of weed this big. He said, "Okay, the guy said go here, here, and here, and for $25." We walked in the field for $25 and filled up 2 shopping bags full of pot.
Wow.
Threw them in the car. So we get in the car. We start heading down the peninsula. We get down. We drove for about a day. We found this hotel room, this house. The bathrooms are outside, by the way. They got outhouses. They got like 5 outhouses on the road. They're just kind of connected on this dock thing with water, which is kind of cool. And then you got the hotel and all. You get served food and everything. We met some senoritas there, and they spent the next 4 days with us going down, further down the thing. And then they had to go back. They introduced us to somebody else. We spent a couple of days with them coming back up, going back to the base. And I still remember we got back to, I can't tell you everything because it's just too much for the show. And frankly, we turned some of these girls red. But we got back to the border. These motherfuckers ripped this Trans Am apart. They looking at the exhaust. They got these things they shoved up in the exhaust. They pulled the air breather off the car. They're looking at everything, man. Trying to figure out where the pot is. Of course, there is none. Because as we were pulling into town, my boy reached out the moonroof and said, "Anybody want to be bag of marijuana?" 20 people ran up to the car. He just threw it out there. It's well, no, Jimmy. So the Navy wasn't going to test us then. We already knew that because they don't want to lose a bunch of people. So they don't test you after you get out of boot camp because they know you're going to go out and be an ass. They already know that. They know you're going to go drinking and whore and smoking. They know that from the get-go. Because more than likely, if you're not going to tech school like I was, you were going to see it.
Yep.
Well, not everybody in the Navy got sea duty, but 2/3, well, half did. You know,
I
got
did.
sea duty. Yeah, I did sea duty.
3 years and what was it? 3 years and 3 months was sea duty for me.
I floated around in the USS Nimbus like this the whole time. Yeah.
You got your dog tags, Joe?
Somewhere. I think I still do.
I threw
Now-
mine in the ocean.
So-
in the ocean.
So I kept them because they were the original dog tags. So people, you'll notice with dog tags. So the kind you buy, you wear all the time, are just overly shaped, right? Real dog tags has a notch in it. It's kind of, it's got a little sharpness to the bevel. It's like a half bevel in it.
Mhm.
Do y'all know what that's for, guys?
Put in your mouth.
So yeah, you take it and you put it in between these 2 teeth and you kick the jaw shut and it jams the thing up into the upper gum so they can have identification while it's traveling.
Yep.
Because during the war they would get lost when they would hang on people's arms and feet and stuff. Yeah, it's deliberately designed to do that. It's what's deliberately for. The first time I heard it, I was like, "But I ain't doing that. The fuck, I put it in my pocket and give it to somebody when I get there." The hell. It's there's a lot of weird stuff like that. So one of the things when you're in boot camp, you have to jump on this big tower and learn how to jump in the water. Okay, the tower's pretty wicked. It's pretty tall, 3-4 stories. Well, I remember the key said, okay, everybody's got to do their dive, their jump. Fucking Nimitz is a fucking building out of the wall. I mean, this bitch is like 14 stories or something. I'm like, holy shit. So you got to stand there, put your feet side by side. There's a couple things you got to do. So and then you stand up there and they put this on the floor like this. And you just jump off so your feet and you kind of angle your toes down a little bit so you go and you hit the water. Then when you go underwater, you got to rip your pants off, button them back up, zip them up, pull them. When you come up out the water, you take them and you pop them through the air. And on the end, it makes like a life raft where you get in between the legs and you can float around. And then if it starts running out of air, you can unzip it and blow the air through the zipper and fill them back up. I'm not shitting you. That's standard training in the Navy.
That is the truth.
Let me tell you what, that little trick right there will save your fucking life.
Yes, it will.
The Navy pants are made like that. They're made to do that. It's the first time the guy told me that. I was like, what the fuck? No, you can even tie the feet off. Yeah. Yeah, at the bottoms, but it works great. It works great. Well, everybody has to do it. You have to pass. That's the thing for boot camp. You have to pass. It's like the smoke chamber. You got to pass it. The tear gas chamber. You got to pass it. So, Jimmy, we all had to learn firefighting. Okay, every fucker that goes on a ship is a firefighter. Everyone. There's nobody who's in the Navy serving a ship that isn't a trained firefighter. You have to be. They tell you how to pass everything, how to use everything, how to use the sprayers, how to use the hoses, how to use everything, how to use the PK foam. They had this PK foam they kept in all of the life rafts, and it was really good at smothering out flames. But you know what else was cool? It was a protein foam. So if you didn't have food or you were stuck at sea, you could actually eat the fire retardant stuff to stay alive.
Yeah,
but it was
edible plastic.
It's so you can actually do that. We all had to learn CPR. Yeah, that's just standard shit you had to learn. Yeah, see, this
you
is
had to learn CPO, Sharky?
Yeah, sure. So this is stuff, though, I really feel all this is kind of basic. It should be taught if you go to college or your senior year of high school, because this is stuff that really can help make a difference in the real world. Anybody who knows firefighting or CPR can save lives. And it trains you. It changes the way you think of things. It changes your mindset where you might stand and watch pictures. A person who's been trained won't. They'll go in there and save lives. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in most states now, if there's a disaster happening and you're standing there making a video of it, you can go to jail now for that if somebody dies. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. I need to read this. I posted this 3 days ago on Facebook. Right? When I served in the Navy, my life was in the hands of black, brown, red, yellow, and white toned people. We were friends. We were combatants. We were shipmates. And we had each other's back. When the hammer slammed the anvil, we trained, we sweated, and we bled together. We came together from all parts of the country. We came together from all religions. We were a society unto ourselves. We worked as a team, a well-oiled machine. We fought for our brothers and sisters through thick and thin. We protected each other. That was what we did. The only color we saw was navy blue. Is that not true, Joe? That is so true.
It is true. It really is.
And that, you know what, Joe? And I'm gonna. That's what really bothers me when I see everybody, this racist shit going on out there in the world, and between blacks, white, Jews, Islam, whatever.
Jews in Palestine, yeah, it's all over. It's disgusting.
Right, Jay. But what I'm saying is, when we were on that ship, I depended on that black person. I depended on the Jew. I depended on the Islam dude to save my life. And in return, they depended on me to save theirs.
And that dependence also wasn't necessary that you were friends. You may not have liked that black person or that Jewish person or that Islamic person, but he did a certain thing that that was correct, and you did a certain thing that was correct. You did your jobs right.
No,
You appreciate that about
Joe,
each other.
but you're not getting the picture on that, Jay. We were shipmates. We were out at
Yeah.
sea for almost a year. We
It's
lived.
probably different for a shipmate than it is for like Army or Air Force or any of those other forces. Yeah,
so
because
what
you guys
gets-
are in
well, it
confined
gets-
spaces for a long time.
Well, but what gets weird about the Navy is if you're a lifer, I'm not talking about the guy who comes and does returns. If you're a lifer, you'll get to know these people. Sometimes you may serve 10, 12, 15 years on a ship with somebody. And not just somebody, a bunch of somebody. Plus, you meet all these people when you're in port because you're part of a pack. It's not just your ship; it's all the ships that's in part of your group. They're going to port together. They're going to hang out together. You know, this. So, and I know Sean's familiar with it, which is, by the way, illegal in the Navy today. There used to be regular boxing matches, and you could get in a boxing match. You could actually win a lot of money in one of the boxing matches. But they would arrange betting in boxing matches on the flight deck.
Oh yeah.
Usually, a lot of times they did it in the hangar.
They did it in the hangars, dude.
Yeah, that's where they did it. That's what I said. That's usually where they did it, was in the hangar. And that was just to keep it out of the eye of the captain. That's all. Which the captain didn't really give a shit, but legally he wasn't supposed to be letting us do that.
Right.
They'd get out there and they'd, you get like 12 fighters and they'd fight it out and they'd have regular matches. And then within a day or two, it would be the last one and they would win. Everybody bet, everybody get drunk. Everybody would be just shit faced. And then, of course, there always a couple of fights that would break out, But, when you're in the Navy, fighting is like a second nature. You don't even think about it. In most military, you don't. It's going to happen when you're out partying. What's that?
That was for Jay.
Yeah, wet tuna fish on it. Get some tuna fish water and put some tuna water on it.
Joe, I remember my last cruise on the Independence, man. We had 26 ships in our carrier, and we had smokers. They set up 4 boxing rings in the hangar bay, and each ship brought over 2 fighters, and they had smokers all day long.
I remember my commander's like, my special force commander, he's on ship with us. He's like, so they up there, well, they wouldn't let him fight. So, because, the regular sailors were going to get their ass kicked if they were fighting special forces. So they'd say, okay, now y'all want to do that. And so they'd have a special side match. Like they'd get a Marine or something like Jarhead and just go beat the living shit out of each other. But there were always a lot of fun. There was no malice involved. People just having fun.
No,
it wasn't.
It was fun. It was so much fun. Then they would set up 6 or 7 basketball hoops, and they would have 3-on-3 tournaments.
Yeah, where you get bored on the ships. A lot of times once you're caught up and the ship's is under control, there's nothing to do. You spend a lot of time just with your finger up your ass.
Yeah, that can't be very much fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Or after you get done eating, you sat in the bed and where you slept at in your quarters, or else you were playing spades all night long. Oh my God! And there were some good spade games. A lot of money. Spades. That was the
Gary,
game.
I just cooked me a Siamese cat the other day. It was best cat fried rice I've had in 2 decades. It was just, oh my God, it was yummy.
Oh, you know what? What's his name? Don't Whistle at Night is about to come on soon.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I got the time. There's a timer set on my thing. It starts flashing red when it hits that top mark, at the top of the hour.
But it was a lot of fun being out at sea. It really was.
It had its days. It had its days. Some of the ports were a lot of fun too. I got to tell you what, I got to sail by Hawaii 3 times and never got to go on the fucking island. Pissed me off every time. I still remember our captain. Captain comes on, and there is a lovely island of Wahoo. Everybody say goodbye, Wahoo.
Yeah, see you later.
And then the whole fucking ship on 5,000 was like, fuck you, Captain.
You know what? My best port of call was Perth, Australia. I'm not shitting.
Nice
I loved it down there, man.
Yeah,
it was so beautiful. We were there for 3 days. Perth, Australia.
It's about as far south as you can get, Sean.
What's that?
See, that's about as far south as you can get, just about.
It was beautiful, man. Then we had a layover. We had a layover in Diego Garcia. We were there for 6 months in Diego Garcia. We were a subtender. We were sub tender, but we were also destroyer tender too. We did all the ships in the submarines.
Which
until,
was it any one specific destroyer or sub, or was it just anything in
my
that
ship
area?
was called my ship was called the USS Holland AS-32. That was my first ship. My second ship,
ASS-32.
my second ship was the USS Independence, CV-62, but I was attached to an air squadron, A-7 Corsairs, and we were out of Cecil Field, Florida. So whenever the Independence went out, we went out with them.
Yeah, when the bitch didn't catch on fire.
Yeah.
That fucking ship caught more 5 times on fire than the
Dude,
forest
that
fire
was
did.
that was the forest fire.
No, they were
Forest
both.
fire.
Yeah, the forest fire was the forest fire, but I mean, the Independent. Sam was on the Independent. This way he got all his commendations. He said fucking caught on fire 3 times when he was on.
I do believe the the earlier version, the World War II version, also was on fire quite frequently. As was the Farragut.
the old one. Not when I was on
Yeah.
it. I was on it for 2 years.
Sam was on it for about 4 or 5. He was on the Independent. Yeah, because he said, how can I get on a Nimitz and Enterprise? Because he wanted Westpac. I said, well, Enterprise was on the East Coast anyway. I said, Westpac. I said, Westpac it's hard to get in because there's special duty these people want, like going to Hawaii or other places.
I hate going. I did not want a Westpac, Joe. I wanted to stay on the East Coast.
Actually, I applied for embassy duty, and then I said I couldn't have embassy duty. See, originally I applied for Orlando for boot camp. They said, "Fuck you," send me to San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wants Orlando because it's where the girls are.
Right. Yeah.
It's, you have girl companies, so sister companies and shit. They have dances and stuff. Yeah, we didn't get a fucking dance. We had a bunch of ugly guys all over the place. We had pizza parties and shit. In fact, the Navy was interesting.
Joe, you shellback?
Yeah, because I went to South America. It's
I crossed it 3 times. If anybody doesn't know, when you first join the service, you're considered a polyglot. But once you cross the equator, the captain is no longer in charge of the ship. King Neptune is. And you had to go through all this shit. And after you survived it, okay, then you became a shellback, which is like more important than making rank. Honest to God. I'm a shellback. I'm proud of it.
In the old days, they used to do all kind of horrible shit too. The Navy's kind of made them ease up now. Oh no, they would paddle your ass down the runways, paint you with shit. They
My
were
God,
rough,
yeah.
man.
Or else you had to go to the Royal Baby, the fattest dude on the ship. And he would have peanut butter, oil, all kinds of shit on his belly. And he'd stuck a cherry into his belly button. And you had to dig that out. No shit. Oh, my God, yes. Oh, yeah.
They were pretty sick.
Yeah, they were. And then
the only good side to it is everybody had to do it.
Yeah. But I tell you what, though, if you did not want to participate, you were put in a brig for the day. You were not allowed to be on the ship. You were put into the brig. Yes. I know a couple of guys that did that. They went to the brig. They didn't want nothing of it.
Bunch of sissies.
Yep. I'm telling you. But you know what they beat us with, Jay? They beat us with they got old fire hoses, okay? And they cut them like 15, 16 inches long. And my God, and they would wet them. They would wet them. And then you just crawl on your hands and knees, and they would smack your ass with these damn things, with them fire hoses. Oh, they hurt. Oh my God.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how fucking hot that deck gets.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to use your flip flops.
Those fire hoses are made out of asbestos, so it's the same material they make the jackets out of.
It don't matter. We didn't give a shit back then. They just know they were going to smack our asses with this.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! And then it's
seriously,
better when
they didn't care. They didn't care.
I told the lieutenant, "Hey, baby, I charge for dates like this." He liked to do the seven stuff I haven't charged. He said, "Joe, I'm like that." Well, man, I'm just telling you, be smacking on my ass, buddy. You're gonna take me out to dinner. He was like, "You're a sick fucker." I was like, I mean, it's most of the guys in our company or on our boat, we did have 1 or 2 guys that didn't do it, but most everybody did it. I mean, it's just part of it. And the guys remember if you do it or not because they've done it themselves.
Yes.
So everybody knows, and a lot of them guys been on that ship 4, 5, 6 years. You rely on those guys the most, the old timers. So you want to make sure that you stay inside the other things.
It's only trauma. It is okay. Yeah, that's true. But you know what else, Joe? We were in was it the Antarctic, and I got my blue nose, and what they did there, Jay, okay, what you did there was you had to be in your shorts, a t-shirt, and your running shoes, and you had to run the deck until your nose turned blue.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
no, thank you. That's way. I don't like the cold that much.
When I was on Nimitz, she never went anywhere cold.
We did.
And she stayed in.
But I'll tell you what, the most prettiest sight that I ever saw in the Navy. And okay, in order to get to the Mediterranean, you had to go through the Straits of Gibraltar, right?
Yeah.
So we finally made it through the Straits. It was sunset, and you could see the rock, right? Once you see the rock, that's the start of the Mediterranean Sea. And so as we were sailing, all of a sudden over to 1MC, you heard whale call, whale call. So we all ran up on deck. There had to be about 20, 30 whales in front of us going out toward the Mediterranean. It was such a sight. Baby whales with their mummy whales. Oh yeah, it was a sight. It was a sight.
Well, guys, we're gonna have to get because it's 10 after now.
Yeah, the boys are starting their show already.
Yeah, the boss lady said next time we get fired, get it fuck off the air. She said she thinks you ladies are bad influences, by the way. I told us because we got a strike. Yeah, I told her we got a strike.
Yeah, we're behaving. Real quick, Carrie says, my military friend said when they started using tasers, they would get drunk and tase each other. You men are weird. Interesting specimens.
Kids do that today, man. My son used to taser each other. It's
before tasers, people had BB gun fights with each other.
Yes, we used to get like 4 pair of jeans on, get the helmets on with the mask on, get your motorcycle helmet on with your face mask on, get all kind of gloves on and shit. And we'd go out there and pull these spears out of the ground, the mud, and get the BB guns out. No pumps allowed, no air ones allowed, only Daisy. Yeah, because you don't want to kill somebody or go break the skin with your hand. Oh no, we get up and shoot the shit out of each other. And, then we decided that wasn't enough, so we started having 100-shot Roman candle fights. You go buy a couple of the RCs of 100-round repeaters, and you light them on fire, running, and there's a rain of fire fight. It looks like a fucking war zone. We used to blow shit up because we're Americans. We like to blow shit up. That's why. Whoever asked me, that's why we like to blow shit up.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
We're good at it.
But we gotta go, guys. It is 10 after. So.
Yep.
Any promos? We got to make it a plug anything before we're out of here.
No, I don't think. I think Sean got everybody in the
I got everybody in.
So everybody's plugged up. We're ready to get out of here. Again, we want to thank everyone for hanging out with us and listening to the show tonight. Of course, the positive feedback is also nice. But if you feel like you need to moan, groan, bitch, or gripe, Michelle said please write to her at uprnradio@gmail.com. You can write to her there. Yeah, I really have to get out there. That's us.
Much love to you, Heidi. Much love to you, Carrie.
What? I can't hear you. What you said, man?
I just said much love. She said, thank you, guys. Much love. And I said, much love back, Heidi. Much love, Carrie. Real quick, ladies, real quick. I pulled the wolf. So if you want to look it up, last card, I pulled the wolf. I pulled the wolf for y'all. And I'll see you all tomorrow night.
Sounds like a sick wolf. Anyway, good night, everybody. Click-a-rooney, click-a-rooney.